throughout the build, like with Smackdown and the kickoff show. We'll be live before the countdown show, during Bash in Berlin. Like, we'll go through all of it. We'll be here for all of it. So, big week coming up. I'll get my predictions up on the second channel on Sunday. I will be asking for your predictions, your thoughts next week for the second channel as well. So we've got all of that coming up. But we're not focused on that so much tonight. We're focused on SmackDown. And SmackDown, let's do the run through. And then we'll jump into whatever it is you guys want to talk about. You guys are obviously so up to speed with everything that we don't really need to talk about certain things. I think naturally they'll just come up over the next couple of hours and we can chat about them. So, right, we've got the Bloodline taking on Street Profits tonight for the WWE Tag Team Championships. So we do have a tag team championship match tonight, which is pretty exciting. Bianca, Belair, Jade, Cargill, and Naomi are going to be in 6-woman tag action, taking on the Unholy Union and Blair, Davenport. So Isla, Alba, Blair, all in action against Bianca, Jade, and Naomi. Then we've got LA Knight defending the US Championship against Santos Escobar. So that's 2 title matches that we've got tonight. I don't think either title changes hands, but it is 2 title matches that we've got tonight. And then probably the big one is Grayson Waller Effect with Cody Rhodes. Obviously no Roman this week. We already know about that. Little bit of a disappointment. I think Roman being on the show definitely creates more buzz, creates more excitement. But I don't know, man. There's enough going on. We're building to Bash in Berlin. We don't really need Roman right now. I think we need to focus on the Bash in Berlin stuff. And as we said, we've got 2 championship matches to get our teeth into tonight. So that's the rundown. It would be a bit soon, wouldn't it, for Bloodline to lose those titles. So I'm really not expecting that to be the case. So I'm thinking Bloodline retain. LA Knight just recently getting the belt from Logan makes me think he's not going to lose it to Santos Escobar. So I feel pretty good that both champs or sets of champs are going to retain. So with that being said, let's jump over into the chat. And Connor says, Days, would you rather have Rock Roman or Roman Cody at WrestleMania 41? Oh, definitely Rock Roman. I've seen Roman Cody. So Roman versus Cody we've had for the past 2 years. So, you know, it's very hard now to get as excited for that. I know that it's a little different because now it's face versus face. So I understand that it's a little different. You know, previously it's been face versus heel. But even so, I still think, like, Rock Roman is... I put a post out the other day saying... For me, and I know that many will disagree, but for me, if aliens came down and they were to ask for an image of like what wrestling was all about, I would show them the face-to-face between Andre and Hogan. Because to me, that is, you know, one of the biggest moments, featuring 2 of the biggest ever stars in front of, like, you know, what a record-setting crowd. I mean, even to this day, that WrestleMania 3 crowd is one of the biggest of all time. I know that it was exaggerated, but it's still one of the biggest of all time. Hulkamania is about as hot as a babyface is ever going to get. You know, Hulkamania might not be running wild in 2024, but it was certainly running wild in 1988. So, or 80, when was it? 87? 87 for 3, wasn't it? 86 was 2, 85 was 1. So, it was certainly running wild then. So, yeah, I think that it is, for me, that is the North Star. Let's use a Brayism, right? But looking at Roman and Rock and where we are with both of those, I think if any match is going to challenge that, it would be that. Some people might say that Cena against Rock beat it. It didn't for me. It was not even close. I really did not feel even remotely into that as much as I did Hogan Andre. I just didn't care as much. I know that it did great numbers, so, you know, someone could put up a good argument. But for me, it's Hogan Andre. I think the one that probably got the closest would have been Hogan Rock, and that face to face. For me, that was probably the closest we came. But looking at where we are with Rock Roman right now, if we do that, say, next year, which I don't know that we are, but if we did, that might be the closest we come to actually beating Hogan Andre for being the iconic moment. And for many people, it might beat it. It might beat it. For many people, Cena Rock might have done it. For many people, Stone Cold Rock might have done it. For many people, Hogan Rock might have done it. So it's opinions, isn't it? There's no correct answer. But for me, the one that I still hold up is Hogan Andre. So I just think Rock Roman's about as big as it gets. And I'm not even saying of this generation. I'm saying of any generation. It's about as big as it gets. So yeah, definitely that over the third Roman Cody match. Albert said, did you see on X the Wyatt 6 post? I did, my friend, yes. I always, unless it's something really urgent, I always tend to keep it back for unseen. There's not a great deal to speak on it. I mean, I think the repent, the image of American maids kind of says everything that needs to be said, really. There was a bit of an interesting image in the background, though, which seemed to be in the background. I wonder if I can bring it up, actually. If I go over to the full screen, let's go capture and boom. We go down to it. We've got, where is it? Oh God, we tweet so much, man. There it is. So yeah, if we have a look at that, you can sort of see like a face in the background. Looks a bit like, I don't know, Willow kind of vibe. You know, it's not Willow, clearly. Actually, I feel like I've seen it before, but I don't quite know what it is. But you can see that there's like a face that's been put on it as well. You can see like an eye here and an eye here. And that means the mouth would be about here. And we've got, I don't know if these are horns or flames. These, I mean, that looks like maybe a horn. But that kind of feels like there's more to this picture, if you know what I mean. Repent and American maids with the crosses all makes sense. Like, not really anything to read into that. But the one thing that I still chew over is this kind of face that's in the background. Or I don't even know if it's in the background. It might have been just dropped on top. And I don't believe that's part of American Maid's Titantron. So that was the only thing that I was like, what's that? What's that? It might just be like the Howdy face or something like that, you know? But yeah, that was what we had earlier. And then, of course, fast forward. We get this from Alexa. Are you ready for it? That's that. Boom. Yeah. So, and here's Tom Colley saying, you know exactly what you're doing. So, I mean, look, I don't think this means she's on the show tonight. I've said before, whenever people do these kinds of social media teasers, my first reaction is, oh, you're not on the show then. As soon as I see something like this, I'm like, okay. I mean, I think that this could be billed into something to do with Taylor Swift. I did check to see if her tour was going to be like, I don't know, in Ohio. I don't know where Alexa lives, but I'm guessing it's like Ohio or Florida. So I looked to see where Taylor's tour was going to be. It's in none of those areas. I think it's in Toronto. I think it's going to Toronto. So I couldn't see it being that she's going for the tour. I'm not aware that Taylor's got a new... It's interesting that it's Taylor. I think that's interesting. Why this GIF? Is it just because she wanted to say, are you ready for it? And she was quite happy with this one. Or is it connected to Taylor? I do like this theory, though. I retweeted it. Here, look. So Paul said Taylor Swift does have a song called Bad Bloods. So, I mean, that's pretty goated. Here we've got Taylor, are you ready for it? And she's got a song called Bad Bloods. And we've got a WWE PLE coming up called Bad Bloods. Could it be that that is a little indicator of that? Could it be that? I think there's lots of little bits that it could be. Deez Rebel said, is she referencing The Fiend? So if we actually knew he was a killer first time that I saw him, apparently that is the first line of a song. I can't remember what the song's called, like Are You Ready or something like that. I think the song is called Are You Ready? And I don't know if this is from that same song. So this is a difficult one for me because I don't identify as a Swiftie. I never have. So it's quite difficult for me to kind of decode, to be honest, because it could mean something. It might mean nothing. I do like the bad blood thing, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not expecting her tonight. I think the build would be much bigger than just here's a tweet, you know? So I'm not expecting it tonight, but certainly any kind of communication from her suggests we're getting closer, let's put it that way. Kelly Bertha Maylin said, I've sent you the American-made picture. You've sent me the American-made picture. Oh, well, that's interesting. So it's a bulldog. Oh, thank you. Let's go over. I have not seen this image. Oh, that's interesting. So the thing I was interested in was a face, but I'm guessing it's because... so is this part of... So this image is from Ivy's entrance, and she refers to herself as the Pitbull. And I've not seen her entrance. I mean, and I've certainly not seen this face before, so that's cleared that up. Thank you. So that then is the Pitbull. Then that's what she goes with. Where did that go? Love that. I'm gonna put thumbs up because you deserve it. You deserve it. Kelly, shout out to you. Well, that's that little mystery solved. Oh, hello, what's this? Bray said that they are connected, and when their story comes full circle, they will join again. It's going to be memorable, so she's going to be part of it in one way or another. Taylor said that they have something to prepare for. Another door has been opened. Yeah, I expect them to join up. I expect them to join up. I think that they will be united. So, yeah, I could believe in that. Right, Batman Big Fan said, Days, do you think we see Jimmy Uso tonight? No, I don't think so. It would be a bit strange for... It would be a bit strange for him to come back without Roman. I think when Roman's been beaten up, and so for Jimmy to come back on his own now would be pretty stupid, to be honest. What's he going to do on his own? So I kind of feel like Roman, when he comes back, you know, he might be in a bit of trouble, and then out comes Jimmy for the save. So I'm not expecting Jimmy tonight, no. Days, my prediction for Bash in Berlin are Gunther retains, Cody wins, Damian and Rhea win against Dom and Liv, and Drew wins the strap match. Ethan said, I could see Alexa maybe turning up on Monday. Little Rose said, Days, how well do you think tonight's episode will be? Well, you know me, I like to be honest. I think this is going to be solid. I don't think it's going to be spectacular, just because we are pretty close to the pre-LE. I think we know all the main matches. I do think that they're trying to find a way of making the TV shows matter. So, you know, they've given us 2 title matches. I mean, these title matches could have been at Bash in Berlin, and perhaps under Vince they would have been at Bash in Berlin. But I think we live in a different world now, as we said, where Peacock have paid for the PLEs already, right? They have done years ago. So we don't, you know, we need to put on a good show, and we need to build up for the PLEs, but we don't need to put everything on them like we used to. You go back before the network, or not even that, but you go back before Peacock took WWE, right? And took the back catalogue. If you go back before that, then we had to really build the PLEs because we wanted people to tune into them. It doesn't really, you know, this might sound bad, but it doesn't really matter now because the PLEs are just on Peacock. Right, we don't charge any extra for them. If you're subscribed to Peacock, you can watch it. I mean, no extra charge, right? And we've already got the money. WWE have already got the money. Peacock have already paid like $1 billion for 10 years worth of PLEs and the back catalogue. So they've got the money. So if you're WWE, you could understand them going, right, we still need it to be worth it for Peacock. We still need the viewing figures to be good. But do we have to put everything onto the PLEs like we used to have to. When you had to convince people to spend $50 on each pay-per-view, you had to throw everything. I mean, this is why the sets aren't as good. You know, we used to do everything. We used to try and get celebrities. We used to do big sets, really interesting sets. I think, was more adventurous with pushing boundaries and trying different gimmick matches. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But I think we've lost all of that. I think all of that has gone now because we are really in a different place where we don't have to be as adventurous anymore, which is a bit of a shame, really. It's a bit of a shame that we've already got the money up front. And so, like, we're not phoning it in, clearly, because the PLEs have been a lot of fun. And under Triple H, they've been really good. But it's different. It's just different. We don't have to put everything onto them anymore. So that is beneficial. That is good for SmackDown and Raw, because it means that we get things like 2 title matches tonight. And on Monday, we're getting flipping Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy taking on Chad Gable. And it was only a couple of weeks back that we had the Wyatt Six make their in-ring debut on Raw. So I know a lot of people complain about the fact they should have been on the pay-per-view, right? And that's fine. I totally get where people are coming from. But I think we should also appreciate the fact that we are eating good at the moment. Back in the day, these shows would have been a lot worse. The Raws and the SmackDowns, they would have been a lot worse. And your pay-per-view would have been more stacked, would have had more matches. So the 2 title matches tonight would probably have gone on to the pay-per-view, which means tonight those segments would be filled with something not as interesting. And, you know, the pay-per-view would be a bit more bloated, and it means that the matches wouldn't get as long. Whereas now, I think this is a much better compromise. We get 2 title matches tonight to look forward to. Don't think the title changes hands, but whatever. And the pay-per-view is not as bloated, which means that the matches get that little bit longer to cook. Sometimes you do need time for the match to actually get where it needs to get to. So, yeah, no, all good. All good. I don't think there's anything that looks like it's going to blow my mind tonight. I'm not expecting a new champion. I'm not expecting Roman. I'm not expecting a surprise. I'm not expecting Alexa. I'm not expecting Jimmy. So I'm looking to see where's that little bit extra going to come from. And I can't see it. I'm struggling to see it. If we get something, brilliant, but I just can't see anything at the moment. So that's why I say solid. Couple of title matches, but both champs retain. Cody on the Grayson Waller Effect. I'm sure that'll be fine. Jade, Bianca, Naomi against Unholy Union, Blair. I'm sure that match will be fine. I think it's just going to be solid. I think that at the end, my prediction will be 6-7-5. 6-7-5, around that kind of range out of 10. Some people might say it was a 7-2-5. Some people might say, nah, there wasn't much to it. 6.5, something like that. But I reckon it's going to be about that range. You know, I think every match needs to bang. And for me, I think you're going to need a real OMG moment to get into the 8s. And I'm not sure as to where that's going to come from. So that's kind of what I'm seeing, but I think it's going to be fine. And I think it's going to be solid. Nathan said, I'm so excited for Uncle Howdy's first in-ring match, says Nathan. Miss Clown said, I'm sick of these new terms, cooking and eating goods. You got to get with the kids. You got to get with the kids, man. Shockwave said, there's nothing tonight. I can't see it being great. I think it'll be a 5.5. Well, I think it'll be better than that. I think it'll be solid, as I said, and solid to me is going to be around that kind of 6-7-5 range. And if it comes out of that, there's no problem. If it's better than that, then great. You know, that's what we're hoping for. But that's my expectation. That's my expectation. Right, Lee said, I've subscribed to Peacock from the UK with a VPN, $7.99 a month for WWE, and you get all the Premier League games live. It's great. Okay. That's interesting. It's really interesting. I've tried to subscribe to something before, and it didn't quite, it knew I was using a VPN. It knew that I was using a VPN. So what was that though? I thought that might have been Peacock, you know. So I don't know. You have to be careful of stuff like that. It's getting better, isn't it? It knows that you use a VPN. Alkaline said, "You know who we won't see tonight? Ricky Starks." That's true. Amethyst said, "I want Roman Reigns so bad." Shockwave said, "I'm not expecting anything. SmackDown really is poo when Roman is not on it." John said, "WWE Roman Reigns Cody is a great man and it'll be a good time." Naomi needs to turn. Oh, that would be interesting. I would have liked Naomi with the Bloodline, actually. If she'd have gone in with the Bloodline, I think that could have been really, really fun. But we didn't do that. And now I don't quite know what we do with her. If imagine like she was face. I mean, she was when like Jimmy was heel. And now she's going to turn heel. And Jimmy will come back as a face. It would just be weird, wouldn't it? Why didn't we ever be a heel when Jimmy was a heel and now be a face when seemingly Jimmy's about to be a face? I think she could have been good in the Bloodline. A lot of people will say, oh, we didn't need her, but yeah, you know. Nathan said, hopefully we can move the Bloodline story on slightly. I don't want it getting too stagnant with Roman not being there. I don't know what we're going to do, to be honest, in regards to that. I feel like I get where you're coming from. I think Roman's got beaten down. I would imagine what we'll get is we'll get the Bloodline if we see them, and I'm sure we will. I would imagine they'll gloat. They'll gloat. And it'll be a case that they, you know, are pleased with what went down. And I think we just set up his return. So it might be stagnant for a little bit as we wait for Roman to come back. Apparently, he's no longer advertised for the middle of September anymore. He's no longer advertised. So that's a bit of a concern. Although he is advertised for some sort of seminar. So I don't know. I really don't know what's happening there. I don't know what's going on with all of that stuff. Get more chance of seeing the headbangers than seeing Roman tonight, said Kim Strains. Little Rose said Joe Hendry on SmackDown would have to be until he wins the NXT Championship. John said Roman in the world to make sure you are the best person. Ethan says, are you on the show tonight? No, I've decided to stay here with you guys. Represent. Roman might still show. He was removed from the September 13th promo pic, but he could still be there, says Kelly. Lee said, I've had Peacock for about a month now with the VPN, and I had no problems so far, and I've managed to pay with PayPal. That's really interesting, because I could see that being really useful for some people that may want to explore that as an option, so that's good. That's good. Ryan, hello, my friends. Shout out to you. Appreciate the support, buds. Ryan said, evening days. When do we think we see Jimmy? Because Roman getting beaten up like that. When will Paul come back? I acknowledge my OTC. So you can actually leave comments on these now. So if you want to reply to Ryan, feel free. Right? With these super chats, what's brilliant now is the community can also respond to them because you can actually click reply, which is such a good, I don't know how long this feature's been around for, but it feels like it's just a couple of weeks, but I really like it. So you can reply as well to Ryan and all super chats. But so yeah, when do we think he's coming back? Well, I think he comes back potentially when Roman comes back. I mean, I think there's a chance that Roman comes down and they're laughing at him saying, like, you know, we showed you that you're no match for all of us. You really thought it was wise to come alone. And he can say something like, who said I came alone? And then out comes Jimmy, you know. And I don't know. I don't think you can have Sammy come out. You certainly can't have Jay. I really think that's a bit of work, to be honest. We'd have to find a way. You know, it'd have to be one of those where Solo tells a couple of them, like, have the rest of the night off. You know, it's fine. Roman's not around. We've got this on lockdown. And then, you know, they go off and we see Roman. And it's like, oh, my God. And so there's two in the ring. You have, I don't know, Tama and Solo. Something like that. Jacob's not around. You have Tama and Solo. Roman comes down. Solo's like, beat you down last time. You really think stepping in here with us two is going to be wise, is going to be a good move? You really think coming alone was good? And he's like, who said I came alone? I could see something along those lines. But I thought that we may do something similar at SummerSlam as well. It could also be that Roman doesn't go down that road and just jumps in the ring, starts getting beaten down, and Jimmy just comes out. Maybe Roman doesn't even know that Jimmy is there, but Jimmy just comes out to make the save. Certainly think it'll be Jimmy first, and then it'll be Sammy and Jay that follow after. But this, to be honest, is the fun, isn't it? This is the situation. This is the what it's all about. It's about how are we going to get this OG bloodline back together. Heyman spoke and said he doesn't want to come back until the story really feels like it needs him. So Heyman's a little bit more tricky, I think, as to how we do that one. But yeah, between now and Survivor Series, those two I would expect back sooner. Sammy and Jay, I think, are going to be a little bit later. I would not be shocked if they do something else with them for a month or so. I've said, I mean, it could even be that Jammy, that's what Sammy and Jay is combined, Jammy. It could even be that Jay doesn't join up with Roman until right up to Survivor Series. It could be the last piece of the puzzle. It could be that they desperately need like that final piece, and then they get it just before Survivor Series. A little bit like, was it Becky that came back and made up that women's team the other year? She came back and made up the women's team. Like, it could be a little moment like that right at the death. So I don't know. Yeah, it's obviously we can't say exact dates or anything like that, but yeah, that's kind of a rough outline. Kelly said, as much as I do like the bloodline, I love Jacob. He's amazing. I'm finding myself cheering for him. He is just so impressive. He's really good, isn't he? He's really shined. I mean, he has got future world champion written all over him. So I agree. Jacob is something special, but lots of people have been saying that for a long, long time. I think Bloodline retains the championship. I think Bianca, Naomi, and Jade win. I think LA Knight wins against Escobar and retains the US championship. Shockwave said, I think Brock will be back before Jimmy. Texas Liberty said, The Rock comes in tonight to layeth the smackdown on all their Rudy Poo candy asses. Let's go. Let's go. Right, then we've got Shay Guy Promotions said, would you take Zilla, Roman, and Usos against Solo, Tama? Oh, there we go. Tama, Jacob at Survivor Series. Paul Heyman has to choose his bloodline. Would I take that? Yeah. I would rather it be the OG bloodline. I would rather it be Roman, Sammy, and Usos rather than Zilla, Roman, and Usos, because Zilla, Roman, and Usos will be working together for the first time, whereas seeing Sammy and Jay and Jimmy and Roman, that OG bloodline back together, only this time having a good time, all equals. You know, Roman maybe no longer standing in front of them. Actually, one of the first things he does is take a step back and stand in line with them. And we can bring back the UC and we can bring back the honorary use and do all that stuff. So way more into that than bringing Zilla in. But I'm sure Zilla will find his way to WWE eventually. I'm just not sure when. Just not sure when. It may not be this year. It could be next year. It could be the year after that. But he, you know, he's a great talent. I'm sure he will find his way to WWE. But as I've said a few times before, I'm really not into just bringing in people just because they're in that family, just because they wrestle, because there will always be another one. That family is so big, and there are so many wrestlers in that family. You can bring in Zilla, and then there'll be another one, and another one, and another one. And it's like, yeah, I feel like you have to draw the line somewhere and go, actually, I think that's enough at the moment. Let's try and work with what we've got, because I still don't know anything about Tama Tonga Loa. I still don't know much about Jacob other than he's a badass, right? So I'd love to kind of explore their characters a little bit more, and I'd love to get that OG bloodline back together as well. Might make it to SmackDown. Might be 5-10 minutes before. I'm going to enjoy some croissants and biscuits, said Spot. Look at you. Fancy. Does Barney the dinosaur go for gold? He should do. I think it's his time. I'd love to see him against Bronson Reed. Do we think Jimmy comes back tonight? I don't, Lego man. No, I don't think so. I think we'll have to wait a bit longer. I can't wait till we see the OG Roman, Jimmy, Jay. Sammy said stand and fight. Ethan said, I want the Gorillas of Destiny to team up, but I don't think they trust Tongaloa. Yeah, I'm not sure they trust Tongaloa either, to be honest. This question is for everyone in the chat. And Days said, Jake, let's go. What would your finisher be if you was in WWE? And mine would be running away because, you know, if I'm in WWE, I'm not going to stand much of a chance, am I? So, I mean, to be honest, it's got to be somewhat realistic, hasn't it? Because I ain't doing anything that adventurous. I can't imagine me doing a razor's edge to Bronson Reed. I can't imagine me hitting a tombstone. I mean, what finisher am I going to do to Bronson Reed? What, bore him to death? Honestly, it's going to be tricky. I would have to think it would need to be something along the lines of a sleeper holds. Even if I did some sort of clothesline, he ain't going down. You know? Realistically, what am I doing to any wrestler? I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. So, what could you do? I wouldn't even get far enough to... I'd be like one of those jobbers. Like, what was the Brooklyn Brawlers finisher? I don't know. We rarely ever got that far, if ever. So I think it'd be one of those. I'd be the Brooklyn Brawler, the Barry Horowitz, the James Ellsworth of modern wrestling. It's like saying what's James Ellsworth's finisher? I don't know. The sitting and crying. I don't know. I don't think it's something I would need to worry about, to be honest. But James said Bloodline for centuries to come because there's billions of cousins. That's true. That is true. You can just keep adding them. I don't think people really realize how big that family is. I mean, they showed that family tree, but I mean, they've got their own training school and everything. I mean, if you're in that family and you're a guy or even a girl, chances are you're going to get into the family business, which is wrestling. So there's loads. There's flipping loads. So I think you can make it as big as you want, really. Miss Clown said, what is an example of a wrestler who could have been more? Ricochet, who's the first name that comes to mind. I think he could have been a lot more than what he was. And actually, Will Ospreay's made that comment. He said he's really looking forward to reminding the world as to how amazing Ricochet actually is. And it's true. I mean, it's true. It is an amazing... I mean, I think back to when he was Prince Puma and not knowing who he was. And even when I found out he was Ricochet, I still didn't know who that was. And I remember seeing Prince Puma. Prince Puma was the first time I saw Ricochet in Lucha Underground. And I just remember thinking, how is there a group of wrestlers this good outside of WWE, which is a bit of a silly thing to think, to be honest, because there's loads of wrestlers, like if you look at New Japan and whatever, but I don't know, it just felt like there was this amazing group of wrestlers that were doing just the most mind-blowing stuff. And I was looking at them, and like what an example, as I said, would be Prince Puma. And I just couldn't figure out how WWE hadn't made a move for these guys. Obviously, eventually he does find a way there, but yeah, just incredible. We got nowhere near that level. Nowhere near that level. He was so cool. He had that sort of Sting cool factor. He was cool. I just thought he was really cool. I loved the look. I loved the mask. I loved the name. And then, of course, you know, just what he could do just really made him stand out. So, but then calling him Ricochet and just him not wearing a mask. I mean, he's a good-looking guy. There's no problems there. But it's like, I don't know. There was no mystery. There was no intrigue. There was no backstory. It was just a dude. It was just a dude. And I don't think Ricochet is the best name, to be honest. Ricochet. I mean, it's okay. It feels a bit Retribution, you know? I feel like that's the kind of name that could be best friends with a Slapjack. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we really dropped the ball there. And I don't think I'm the only one that thinks that. Young Wreckage, shout out to you, my friends. Hope you are well. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate everyone stopping by as we get ourselves closer and closer towards the start of the show. We've got about an hour and 20 minutes. We always start a couple of hours before, and we will continue doing that as well. Obviously, for Monday, we'll be doing that because, of course, it's the first Uncle Howdy match, which I'm very excited about. So we'll be starting hours before that. We always try and start an hour before NXT, but WEP sort of gets in the way. And of course, same with Bash in Berlin and all of that. That's coming up. Really, such a big week. Such a big week. I love these go-home weeks. There's always stuff going on, so very exciting. Right, Carl said, help me out here. How does Pete beat Trick clean, but then lose to Sheamus? So much for that push. I think it's because they're booked by two different people. I think that they do a much better job of marrying NXT and the main roster together. I mean, like, you see them in the crowds. We see them appearing on WWE Speeds. In fact, Javon Evans is on Speeds soon. And we see like them on main events, and we see a lot of stars coming down to NXT from the main roster. Like, it feels closer, or as close as it's ever been, the main roster with NXT. But there are still two different writing teams, you know, maybe even three. And you've got your main roster writers, you got your NXT writers, and then it doesn't seem to quite marry up. So yeah, I agree. Like, he gets the win on NXT, and then losing to Sheamus is no problem. But if you're building Pete Dunne, then build Pete Dunne, you know? I kind of feel like it would have benefited Pete to have picked up the win against Sheamus there. So I agree that it's, I don't know, just a little off, a bit rough around the edges sometimes. But I think as a company of that size, I think it's probably better to look at it and go, it's probably more of a surprise that it's not rough around the edges on a more regular basis. Like, actually, what they managed to do in a company of that size, so many moving parts. Think of all the wrestlers that are on the roster. Think of all the people that work backstage, makeup, costumes, lighting, production, pyro, timing, referee, ring announcers, commentator. Like, there's so much that could go wrong. It's kind of amazing, actually, that we don't get a lot more errors and mistakes and clunky moments, you know? So, you know, I agree, but I think I'd rather look at, like, how successful it is, because I think they do amazing considering like how many people are involved. Young Wreckage said, Days, do you think it'll be interesting if Strowman had a split personality where he's trying to keep that beast inside of him from emerging? I think it would be cool. Yeah, I agree. I think that Strowman has come out and said that he's feeling the pull back to the Wyatt Six. So I think it'd be really interesting for him to try and deny that, you know? I like the idea of that whole revel in what you are playing out again. Because we saw it with Bray. Bray didn't want to be that person. And Uncle Howdy was like, revel in what you are. Could you imagine Howdy doing that again, but this time with Braun? Revel in what you are. Only this time, we would get to see a lot more of the reasons why. Right? A lot more of the reasons why. I think it'd be really interesting if Howdy like said to Braun, you've got to revel in what you are, because if you deny your true self, there will be bigger repercussions, right? And actually, it could turn out that when he was trying to get Bray to embrace his true self, you know, he was trying to get Bray to embrace who he really was. He was doing that because he was trying to save Bray. He was trying to help Bray, because Uncle Howdy knows that if Bray doesn't do that, Bray's going down the wrong path, because all of a sudden then maybe Bray, if he denies the existence of that darker spirit within him, if he denied the existence of that or tried to subdue it, it could take over Bray and it could become a real problem for Bray. It could be like, he might think it's bad, I don't want to be like, you know, doing this now. It could have been a lot worse. So actually, we could even find a way of revisiting that initial story back in 2022. And we could show that Uncle Howdy actually, back in 2022, wasn't being a douche to Bray, right? He wasn't being someone that was trying to cause trouble. He was trying to help. And he was trying to save Bray, because he knew what the repercussions would be if Bray went down the road he was going to go down. And we can explore that story by retelling it this time around, only seeing a much bigger perspective now, because now we know a lot more about Uncle Howdy. And I think Howdy can explain a lot more to us, and we can use vignettes and we can use tweets and we can use a lot of things that we didn't use for Howdy back in 2022. I think that'd be really interesting. I love the idea of revisiting some of those things in the past and giving a new perspective on them, you know? I think people always want answers for the past. Like, who opened the door in the funhouse? We all believe it to be Alexa. And, you know, what about if we revisit that and it turns out it wasn't? And we could actually make out it was someone else. And we could take that story in a road and down a path that we weren't expecting, which would be really interesting. And again, you know, you could add more context to the revel in what you are, because, you know, it seemed to be quite dark at the time. But actually, what if it was the complete opposite? What if it was actually Howdy trying to save Bray and stop Bray from making a big mistake? And now he's trying to do the same with Braun. So I think anything like that is going to hit well, because it connects to the past. It provides extra context and provides answers. I think it's satisfying. It's not something new that we're having to kind of get used to. We're actually going back to the past. And I think there's so much that you can go back to the past and do that with. Different phases throughout Bray's career, the Wyatt family, when he teamed with Matt Hardy as the Deleter of Worlds, Final Deletion, or Ultimate Deletion, whichever it was called, Firefly Funhouse, and like some of the stuff that was going on in the Funhouse. Do you remember Ramblin' Rabbit always threatened to reveal the truth? You know, Ramblin' Rabbit was always like about to tell us the truth, and he'd always get beaten down or destroyed or ripped apart, or, do you know what I mean? Like, I remember him saying, I'm going to reveal what's really going on here. And then I think Bray had that big mallet. Well, we never found out what was really going on there. And actually, if the rabbit is now being played by Rowan, that could be an interesting story that we could dig into with Rowan. Where, what if Rowan starts to just all of a sudden just sort of have these moments where he's a bit concerned or a bit panicked? Or, I'm not saying now, I'm saying, you know, next year, the year after. I'm just saying there's lots of stuff you can go back and do this with. But if he starts acting a bit panicked and a bit jittery and a bit nervous, and the rest of the group are like, is everything okay? Loomis may be showing a bit of concern, yeah, I mean, we could dig into that. I think it'd be really good, you know. I think there's so much you can do. So yeah, do I think that there should be like a split thing with Braun? Yeah, and I would, if I was booking, I'd connect it that way. I was surprised that Ricochet is going to AEW. For me, it was a given. I don't see how confirmation has spoiled anything, says Trini. Trini, hello, hope you're well. LA Knight is going to retain his belt tonight, says Aaron. Yeah, I think he will. I think both will. I think Bloodline will as well. Sorry for going a bit off track, but who is your favourite UFC fighter at the moment, says Jake. Favourite UFC fighter? It's difficult, man, because I got such a soft spot for Thug Rose. I've really enjoyed watching her. I mean, she's someone that's just so different. I mean, she's so nice and timid and doesn't want to rock the boat. And do you know what I mean? Like, she's just a really lovely person, and she's obviously got like a support dog and all this, and it's just not what you associate with a UFC fighter. It's just not what you expect from a UFC fighter at all. I think her life and what she's been through is obviously been very difficult. And so I just kind of feel like her just getting in the octagon is a win for her. And the fact then that she's gone on to be champion. And not only that, I mean, do you remember when she was facing Joanna and Joanna was like going off at her and like Rose was just stood there blankly, like she just looked... It was honestly, it was like, mate, I didn't know what to expect. You've got Joanna just trash talking, going off, trying to get in Rose's head. And you know that Rose has struggled with mental health anyway. So, I mean, if you're going to play those games with Rose, I don't know what the end result's going to be. So for Rose to just literally shut down and just stand there staring back, it was like something from the Wyatt family. And of course, you know, she shaved her hair off and all of that. So she's got like a shaved head, which makes her stand out. Like, I find her such a fascinating person that I think, you know, she's a good fighter as well, but I can't say she's the greatest fighter we've ever seen and stuff like that, but I just find her fascinating. I think that in fighting, in wrestling, you want different characters, don't you? You know, we love the Wyatts, but equally we love the Shields, and we love the Bloodline, and we love Gunther, and we love R-Truth. You know, I mean, it's just different flavors, comedy and hard hitting, and you got Ray with his, you know, agility and his aerial abilities, and you've just got all these different flavors. And I just think that Thug Rose really brings a different flavor to UFC, when a lot of it is just, I'm going to beat you up, I'm going to beat you up, I'm going to mess you up, blah, 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 blah. It's so nice to have something a little different from that sometimes. So I'd say she's my favorite, but in regards to actually watching, actually seeing, I mean, I love Tom Aspinall. He's really flying the flag for UK UFC. I saw his video that he sent to John Jones. He's like, I'll be there when you face Stipe. Do me a favor, when you walk out the octagon, if you win, can you just hand me the belt, the heavyweight title? Thanks. Because he won't fight him. He's, you know, Tom Aspinall wants to fight John Jones. John Jones don't want the fight. So he's like, do us a favor. I'll be there. When you walk past, can you just hand me my belt? Which is like, oh, that's such a good little video to put out. Nice. But if I was to pick someone like that I root for, someone that's got amazing ability, someone that I love watching, Holloway, Max Holloway. It's got to be. Love that guy. What? He's just a dog, man. He's a fighter. He just gets in there and he throws and he works and he's just... I love everything about him. So, yeah, a few names there. I love UFC. Kian said, I hope you are well and I hope you're having a good stream. I'm having good times. How was your day? Yeah, it was fine. What did I do? I got up and just really, I spent a lot of time on X today. I really wanted to, on these days where I know I've got a stream, I don't worry so much about like the content, because I know we're going to be doing the stream and I know I'll do a unseen after. So there's not really a need for me to be like looking around for other videos. I tend to do that on a Wednesday, Thursday, you know, what other videos are out there. And most of the time I don't really find anything. I'm really looking for that big news or that big topic for us to get our teeth into. And I don't normally find it, but I'm always looking. But I don't worry so much about it on a Friday or a Monday. So I was just a bit more chilled today, just kind of reading what was online and gathering stuff for Unseen. And yeah, it's good. Just good. Obviously, the big talk has been with Logan. That was yesterday. I mean, I'm so split on those kind of things because I feel like with Unseen, I've said this before, when I was in America, I would go to Walmart, I would go to Target, I would go to these places, and then I'd come back and I'd have something to eat at like one of the restaurants. And then I'd come back home. And by the time I got back home, it was like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, right? Been out all day. And I've said before that it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I could sit down and watch a 20-minute Unseen now. If I didn't make it, like I could watch like someone else that had made it. I get the purpose of Unseen. I get what it's meant to do. I understand what it's meant to do. It's meant to round up the day's key talking points from social media, the good, the bad, the funny. It's meant to round them all up in a package, 20 minutes each day. Here you go, right? That's what I'm trying for. I don't want it to outstay its welcome. I don't want it to be too long. I don't want it to be super serious. I don't want it to be super silly. I want it to be a lovely balance, right? And I do find that when I did like the Logan controversy yesterday, I do it and I'm like, oh, I don't want that to take 10 minutes of the video. It's too serious and it's too controversial, and there's people that are going to have like really something like that. People will have passionate opinions on, and I can understand it. Some people will passionately defend Logan. Some people will passionately go in on Logan. And at the end of the day, it's not going to make for an entertaining video, but it is the big talking point of the day. So what do you do with it? So I must admit, like, those Unseens are not my favorite. They're not my favorite. I much prefer ones where it's like, this has happened, that's happened, and it's a bit more bouncy. Bit more like we don't stay on one topic for like 10 minutes. But equally, I felt like I had to talk about it, and I felt like there was a lot to point out and break down, and it has spilled on today. Do you know, there was a girl who posted the clip and her thoughts. I don't know that if she's a big account or not. I didn't look at that. But she's got like over 2 million views on it. And I'm not saying that from an engagement point of view. I'm not saying like well done to her. I'm saying from an interest point of view. Like how many people are actually even interested in that story. Well, she posted her tweet yesterday and has got over nearly 3 million views on it. So it shows that that really was the talking point. It shows that that was, you know, of interest. So I don't regret including it. I do wish I'd found a way to cut it down and not make it as long. But, you know, I tried to balance it out with a big fun folder. And, you know, listen, you can only do your best. If it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, you just go, no problem, and you move on to the next one. Simple as that. I suppose that's the great thing, really. It's, you know, here you go. This is what's happened today. See you tomorrow. That's Unseen, really. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it anyway, buds. The Logan dog thing was difficult to overcome, but thanks for the likes on Twitter, says Kian. Yeah, I understand that. It's not really the kind of thing you want to be seeing or subjected to after a hard day at work, whatever, but it is... It was also the big talking point of the day. And I've gone on record as to saying I don't think that the dog was pushed. I don't think the dog was pushed. I do question what the hand was doing at the back, as you saw in that video. I do question that. And I don't think that Logan did push the dog. But, do you know, there is something interesting. And I did raise this in the tweet that I put out. I mean, I'll quickly show you this tweet, right? Because it says everything I'm about to say, so I might as well just flip and read it. I responded to Logan, not that he'll ever see it, but I responded to Logan here, right? So he put out his video and he says, I would never, right? This was 2 hours ago. And I agree. I don't think he would push his dog in the water, right? I agree with him on this. I don't think he has done this on purpose, okay? He says, I would never, and he's very clear about that, and he breaks the video down, and I agree. I don't think he would do that, right? But I've responded, and I'm only reading this because this is what I would say to you right now anyway, so I might as well just read it. I said, Logan, I believe the dog jumped. I agree with the points that you make, so I would say watch this. It goes for 1:18. Watch that, because he breaks the video down, and I think he does make some good points. But so far, you said that the hand at the back of the dog was petting the dog, stabilizing the dog, and then also not touching the dog. Right? You can't be doing all three. That suggests even you haven't been 100% certain as to what that hand was doing at the back. right? The fact that that story has changed so many times says to me even he's not 100%, right? But don't you think if those involved wanted to stop the dog from jumping, they could have, right? You could have put the camera down. I believe he's the one that's filming the dog. You could have put the camera down, right, and actually grabbed the dog with two hands to have stopped him going in, rather than just putting one hand on the back of the dog, right? Rather than shouting, Broly, don't do it. This is interesting. And I didn't know this until I rewatched the clips, right? You could have asked for support from the friends. Also, why was this line removed from the video that was uploaded? It doesn't feature in the 30-second clip that I saw, but it does feature in the short original clip that you shared on X. I think that is interesting. If you watch the video, Broly, don't do it, Logan shouts, right? It's not there. It's been edited out. But in the original high-definition clip that Logan posts, he's got the original video that Logan posts, you can hear him say, Broly, don't do it. And I'm just wondering, why was it edited out? Why was it edited out? And so he's filming the dog saying, Broly, don't do it, don't jump. He puts his hand on the back and then the dog does jump. That suggests to me that Logan is looking at the dog, seeing that it's ready to jump, and rather than put the camera down, the phone down, whatever he's recording with, rather than put that down and grab his dog, he goes, don't do it, Broly, don't jump, right? He's making a scene out of it. I don't think he then expects the dog to jump. All right, I don't think he expects that. But I think it's really interesting that that line features in the clip he shared, but it doesn't feature in the video. Like, an editor may have looked at it and gone, don't like how that looks, and took the line out, right? So I thought that was interesting. The girl who, I believe her hand is at the back, she could have put her phone down and helped. If you look, like, she's sat on a stool and she's kind of got her phone, what looks to be her phone, in this hand. I think she might have put her hand out to the dog, not even realizing what she's doing, because she was distracted by her phone. So, you know, she could have, like, helped, but then he could have asked for help rather than making a fun scene out of it, like, Brody, don't do it. If people were worried enough to reach for the dog, then the effort that was made was clearly not good enough. Also, don't you think it's funny? The dog does jump the moment the camera is on him, and the moment he is touched by two people. It's funny, isn't it? I mean, the dog's absolutely fine till the camera's on him and two people are reaching out and grabbing him, and then all of a sudden he does jump. You could make the argument that reaching out and grabbing the dog was enough to encourage the dog to actually, you know, jump. You can surely see why the optics don't look good. I don't buy the theory that you did this to get content, which I don't think. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I can't think he's that evil. I can't think that he did this on purpose, wanting the dog to jump so that he had content. But if that was my dog, I would have questions as to why the well-being of the dog wasn't put above other things like filming and being on a phone. Something to think about. And that's it, really. That's it. It's just something to think about. It's just something to, you know. I think there are people out there that are saying that it was pushed and all of that. I can't quite see that personally. I see a hand on the top. I see a hand at the back. But yeah, it's one of those that is still going. That I just read out, that little thing that I just put, right? That was my response. Not that he'll ever see it, but that was my response to Logan putting up another video of him explaining it 3 hours ago. That was just 3 hours ago. So if you think that it was just nothing and it all blew over, well, as of 3 hours ago, Logan felt the need to actually put up another video where he breaks it all down again and, like, talks to people about it. This really has been a massive talking point. I think Drama Alert and Keemstar and all those guys have been on it as well. So it has been a big deal. I really don't want to believe, and I don't think that he did this on purpose. I think he saw the dog was about... I'll tell you what I think happened. I think he saw the dog was about to jump or was perched in a jump position. He got his camera, his phone, and he was like, don't do it, Brody, don't do it. And I think he puts his hand on the back of the dog so that he doesn't jump. Don't do it, Broly, don't do it. And I think in his mind, he just wants that little scene where the dog looks like he's about to jump and he's going, don't do it, right? Guys, did you see that Broly was about to jump or whatever? I think that's the footage that he wants. The thing is, the dog does jump. The dog's ready to jump. The dog does jump. And I think rather than put the well-being of the dog first, he just wanted to capture that little moment first. I think it was more important to him. I don't think he thought that way. I don't think he was like, no, it's more important I get the footage. I think it's just a bit of a subconscious thing. I think he didn't really think about it. I don't think he thought, what if the dog does jump? You know? I don't think that went through his head. And I don't know what that hand was doing at the back. I don't think it pushes the dog, but it does make that sort of motion, which, again, you know, if you're a dog and you're ready to go and someone's kind of encouraging you, then I don't know. It's just I think there's stuff there that needs to be asked. I think there's questions there that need to be asked. I think there's stuff there that needs to be just looked into. I don't think he's abusing his dog, right? I really, really don't. I think his dog's absolutely fine. I'm sure he loves his dog to pieces. But there's stuff there that just doesn't... I'm a dog owner, and I look at some of that, and I'm like... Someone else pointed out, where was the life vest on the dog? You've took the dog out to the middle of, like, a lake, and, like, the dog hasn't even got a life vest on. Now, I don't think dogs have to wear life vests, but, again, you know... As a dog owner, is it not better that they have one rather than they don't have one? Especially if, you know, you're going to let the dog get that close to the edge of the boat. I don't know. I can understand why people are really questioning a lot of stuff, you know. Carl and Dawn, shout out to you. Says, Days, how's it going? It's going all right, thank you. It will be a short night for me tonight. I'm going to be going out dancing. Oh, that reminds me of that Kylie Minogue song. Wanna go out dancing. Oh, you know that one. Do you have Kylie where you are? We have Kylie. And I don't mind a bit of Kylie every now and again. I'll have that. I'll have that pint. You have that pint for me, bud. Yes, you have that pint. We'll get to that pint eventually, but yes, you have that pint for me, bud. You have that pint. Well, I hope you have a good time dancing. Metal Mama said, yeah, it's Logan. He's got money. I wouldn't buy a life vest for the dog if it wasn't trained and I trusted it, but I live on lakes and not oceans. Miss Clan says, do you have Kylie? I don't know who has Kylie, who doesn't. I mean, I don't think she was that big in America, to be honest, for a bit. I think she's kind of broken over there now. I don't know when she broke through. I don't know when she got over in America, to be honest. But I know that she did quite well on TikTok not that long ago. So I don't know. I don't know who has Kylie and who doesn't have Kylie. Apex says, Days, show the tweet that I sent you earlier today. Or I don't know that I'd be able to find it, to be honest, but I get quite a few. So, I mean, it might take quite a scroll. I've had quite a few in the last, like, 10 minutes alone, so that could be tricky finding specifics unless I've retweeted them. Spartan said, Days, Ricochet, AEW are mad at Dave and Fightful for leaks about him joining AEW. They think his return will not be as good now. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I can understand them being upset. I think that I think it's difficult because if you are Dave, well, not even Dave and Fightful, right? Let's say if you are anyone and you find out that a wrestler is going to join WWE and no one else knows, are you going to sit on that news? If you find out that someone's going to come into WWE and no one's talking about it right now, let's say you find out that MJF is coming to WWE. Are you going to tell anyone? Are you going to tweet out about it? Are you just going to sit on it? I think, like, people, if they find out such information, are going to want to tell, aren't they? Certainly if you're in their job as well of being, like, you know, scoops, sources. So, to be honest, I think the people that should be blamed are a little further up the chain. I think if the news reaches Sean, Dave, I don't think you can be surprised they're going to leak it out, because even if you didn't have Sean and Dave, there'll be another Sean and Dave. Let's say Sean and Dave Meltzer don't exist. Sean Ross Sapp, Dave Meltzer, they don't exist. Well, take them out the equation, then I'm guessing whoever has told them, or however they found out from what sources, they would just go to PW Insider. They would just go to PWN. They would just go to Tom Colohue. They would just go elsewhere. You will always have those people. You'll always have those people. I mean, there's literally hundreds of people that, if not thousands, that like to kind of, you know, talk about the news, talk about what's going on. And if you didn't have a Dave and a Sean, you'd just have others. So, to be honest, can you blame them for posting it after they found out about it? Or is it more further up the chain? I don't like WrestleVotes when they spoil what's going to be on SmackDown. Like, if WrestleVotes put a tweet out now saying, right, keep an eye out for this, keep an eye out for that, that's moody to me, because we're only 50 minutes away from the show. That's moody to me. But if it's a case of, you know, it being somewhere in the future, like say Julia or being Stephanie Vacour, I don't know, where do you draw that line? Where is that line? I think that line is different places for different people. I just think it's really difficult. I think if news is going to leak, someone's going to tell it. It doesn't matter if it's Dave. Doesn't matter if it's Sean. If news leaks, it will get out. So surely it should be who told, and why did they tell? Because if you are a friend of Ricochet, then if you've gone and leaked that news, that's not a very friendly thing to do, is it? Because you've ruined his moment, really. So that's not a nice thing to do. If you are someone that works for AEW, well, you've betrayed the company. By leaking that news, you've sabotaged the company that you work for. So they're the people that I'd have the issue with. If it's a family member of Ricochet, I'd say you've let him down. If you're a friend of Ricochet, I'd say you've let him down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who the source was. But for me, it's the source that should be the one that kind of feels the heat. But I suppose you'll never quite know as to who the source was. I mean, the dirt sheets do, but they'll never reveal it because they want more info, obviously, from the people. And if they reveal their sources, then all the other sources would not come to them. So they'll never reveal as to who it was. But for me, those are the real people that are the problem. They're the real ones. Because I know that if Sean or Dave didn't exist, it's not that it wouldn't come out. It would just come out somewhere else. It's quite clear whoever's got that information cannot keep it to themselves. Cannot keep it to themselves. And so, but I don't even know what they get out of it. What do they get out of it? If you work in the makeup department, or you work like erecting the AEW ring, and you find out this information and you go and tell Sean Ross Sapp, do you get paid? Do you get paid? I mean, if there's money that comes out of it, then I could maybe understand. But is it money? But I mean, if it's just to ruin the moment, why would you do that? Certainly if you worked for AEW, so I don't know. All I know is that my flipping timeline was absolutely full of it. It was absolutely everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. And yeah, I mean, it is ruined. The only thing I would say is we knew that Punk was coming back to AEW when we did the Last Dance thing. And that didn't ruin that moment because everyone was there and the music hit and it's like, it's happening, you know? So I feel like there's a couple of different ways to look at it. I think it is better that it be a surprise. I think it gets a bigger reaction rather than people waiting for the moment, trying to figure out when it's going to happen, right? But I still think it'll be a big pop and it'll still be a moment. But maybe it does just lose the edge. It's a bit like when Cody came back at WrestleMania 38. We knew he was coming. I don't think there was anyone sat there trying to work out who the mystery opponent of Seth was going to be. We were all sat there going, it's Cody. It's going to be Cody. We know it's Cody. We were all just waiting for the music to hit. Did that make that moment less? Maybe. Still an amazing moment, though, weren't it? Still an amazing moment. So even knowing, I don't think is the end of the world, but if anything, you could make the argument it might get a few people to tune in, because there's people that know that they're going to get a moment that's like that. You know, you never get it guaranteed. You don't always know that you're going to get an arrival, a debut, a shock moment. But if it's been spoiled, then you could make the argument that there might be a few people that decide to tune in because they really like Ricochet and they want to see him confront Ospreay or, you know, whatever. So, no, it's moody that it happens. I don't blame Sean and Dave so much. I know that Sean's like, we always put it behind a paywall and we always put, you know, spoilers. Come on. I know that you might be doing your little part, but the truth is people are going to read it. Then people are then going to talk. You know, then people are then going to talk. Just reporting it is just, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, if you're someone that really wants to stay away from spoilers, I can only imagine you have to just stay off the internet, and that's it. That's it. Even if Sean puts it behind a paywall, it will make no difference. It will be everywhere. If he reports it, there's enough Wrestle Talks and Cultaholics and WrestleLamias. There's enough people that are going to report on it that it doesn't make any difference if he puts it behind a paywall. So for me, it's the original source that's the biggest problem. Because I just don't think you ever get rid of, like, with social media, I don't think you ever get rid of, like, people, like, you know, reporting on stuff. So you've just got to make sure it doesn't come out. Like Punk. Do you remember Punk when he came back to WWE? We didn't know about that one. That was how they kept that quiet. I really don't know. Right. Where are we? Days, even though it's been pretty obvious about Ricky Starks and WWE, I hope we don't get it spoiled like Ricochet said Isri. Yep. I agree. I think that it would be great for him to just rock up and it be a moment. But honestly, everything I've just said about Ricochet, I would say the exact same. I think if it does leak out, it's the person that has spoiled it. It's the person that has revealed it that is the person I would blame. I understand that, like, Sean Ross Sapp. I mean, it would be great if all the big outlets just agreed if we do get told something, we won't report it. Like, they could maybe come up with a pact, which is anything to do with wrestlers signing with companies, it will not be spoiled before that wrestler actually appears. And, you know, if everyone, like a Dave Meltzer, a PW Insider, a WrestleVotes, a Sean Ross Sapp, a PWN, you know, all of those guys can kind of agree and say we won't ever do anything about talking about someone arriving before they actually arrive. I don't think even that would work, to be honest, because I think the people with the info would just go to others. I think, you know, the people that reveal this information clearly want it to come out, or they want to be paid, or I don't know what they get from it, but whatever they want to get from it, they, you know, they're going to still want that. And so they'll just go elsewhere. This is why I don't even know that that would work, to be honest, because then they would just end up going to, I don't know, John's Wrestling News, something like this, you know? And they'd just go to these other places, and then, you know, if that turned out to be true, then John's Wrestling News would get traction, wouldn't it? And then, of course, if John's Wrestling News was doing that, then you'd have Sean and you'd have Dave going, well, why are we not reporting it if we know about it as well? And then the whole thing falls apart. So I just don't know how you win on this. I don't know how you're able to it's got to be nipped at the bud. It's got to be stopped at the source. So, yeah, it is frustrating, I agree. It's just another example of how the internet has not made things better, how social media has not made things better. It's lots of good things have come from the internet, of course, and have come from social media, but there's plenty that has of negatives as well, and I'd say that's a negative. But I hope so. We've made a decent loan signing, says Dale. Who's that, Dale? Who have you loaned? I'm hoping we get, is it James will know. Is it Ugarte? I don't know how you pronounce his name. I don't even know who he is. I know he plays for PSG, defensive midfielder. I know that's the position that we need. I hope we get him on loan at United. That's what I'm looking for. Punk was still signing his name when his music hit. That's why it played for 20 seconds before he came out, says Alkaline. Wrestle with Andy, hello. Hope you're well. Says, Days, when do we think The Rock comes back into the mix? Well, I mean, I was wondering if it was going to be SummerSlam, but it wasn't SummerSlam. So now I am wondering if it is going to be, you know, further down the road, next year, Survivor Series, something like that. I think it's going to be much later. Yeah, I'm definitely looking at it being... I think Survivor Series is a good shout. Yeah. Oh, that's not right. It's all right. I'm just getting posts and things pinged in. Right. Ugar is great. He was at Sporting Player 2 years ago. He's a great player, says Alves. Yeah, he's still young. I think he's Uruguayan, is he? I genuinely don't know anything about him. All I know is that I'm told he's a great player. But I know that United desperately need that kind of defensive midfielder. And I know that we seem to be struggling to get like the 50 million to actually sign him. So I'll take him. Talking of loans, I'll take him on loan. Scott said WWE should make it a policy that you can't leak information or you pay a fine. Well, I'm sure they would, but how do you put that policy in place? Because I don't know that they can ever really establish where it's come from, because I don't know that... I think they might have their suspicions, but I don't know that they can ever truly know where it's leaking from. Just because there's so many places. I mean, there's so many people. You know, it might have come from the wrestlers' sides. It might have come from the company side. It might have been that someone spotted something or overheard something, or it might have come from the ring crew. It could have come from the lighting department, could have been the makeup department, could have been someone that makes the gear, could be that the wrestler went to their gear person and was like, listen, I need you to make me something special, and the gear person has kind of gone, oh, I know what this means, and then the gear person talks. Like, there's just so many different places that it could kind of come from. I mean, this is why the company and the person signing both have to be very, very careful. Very, very careful, you know? I mean, look at that clip of Ricky Starks. So he works at that, or goes to a gym, and then you've got that guy in the gym that's just going, yeah, you know, that dude that was there, he's a wrestler, and yeah, he's just leaving AEW. He'll be going to WWE. So we'll have a WWE superstar in the gym. It'll be really cool. Like, he just on camera, just during a live stream, just spurted all this stuff out. And obviously that then fueled all the rumors of Ricky making that move. And the clip was, you know, I mean, he seemed very certain about it. And then, of course, he goes on Twitter and he's like, oh, no, I only heard something on Wrestle Talk. It was only a rumor. It's like, oh, it didn't sound like a rumor when you was telling your friend. Sounded like pretty definite that it was happening. So I don't know. I don't know what the truth was there. I don't know if he did get told something by Ricky, and you know, he was like, I shouldn't have said, so I'll make an excuse up. Or was it a case that he did genuinely just hear something from Wrestle Talk and then, you know, just got found out, rumbled, you know? I don't know what the truth was there. I think Ricky going to WWE, I'm fairly confident it happens. I don't know when. Tony said that he's still under contract. James said, Mainu and Ugarte. I've gone with Ugarte. Partnership will feed families. Are we any closer to it? Are we any closer? I would be very interested in an update, because we are starting to run out of time, aren't we? We've still got a week, though. I think it's a week, isn't it, until the window closes? There's still time, I suppose. Austin, hello. Shout out to you. Tom said, James, the only families they're going to feed are entertaining games when United get beat every week. Well, we didn't get beat, did we, last week? So think about that. Although we might lose to Brighton, because they're a good team. Undercover Manager said, Dave's currently looking into starting a channel on Sky Okay. As setup costs can be manageable if done right. My idea is to have an hour of news followed by an hour of an indie show and then an hour news and so on 24/7. I mean, terrestrial TV is on a decline. I have no idea what kind of viewing figures you would need to get to... I mean, the numbers on that... To start a TV channel, I mean, how much would it cost you to get indie wrestling? And how much interest is there going to be in indie wrestling? I mean, for example, NXT UK ended up getting pulled. They said it was because they were working on NXT Europe. I don't believe that. I think the viewing figures for NXT UK were not very strong. And indie wrestling without any kind of names involved, how's that going to work? How much is that going to cost? How is that going to be broadcast? If it's not going to be live, are people going to care because it's pre-recorded? I don't know, man. That seems like a nightmare. That seems like that feels like a dead end to me. The cost of trying to run your own TV network, your own TV channel. I wouldn't even know where to start with any of that. I wouldn't even know where to start, but I can't give you any advice on that other than if you do it, I will certainly watch it. Let's put it that way. I will certainly watch it. Brony said, Days, who would you say has had the better career, Rock or Roman? I'm going with Roman because of his accomplishments, and the Bloodline story is arguably the greatest storyline of all time. I think I'd say Rock, and the reason why I'd say that is because I know that the product is hot right now, but unfortunately, I don't think it's as hot as the Attitude Era in the sense of, I think the product itself is really good right now, but it's a different time. And back in the late 90s, you didn't have as many options. Not as many people had cable, satellite, and if they did, there weren't as many channels. And there certainly wasn't as many people that had access to the internet. And I think that wrestling got into the mainstream in a way that I just don't know that it's going to be able to do in 2024, 2025, 2026. I mean, I really feel like if you talk to people that don't watch wrestling about wrestling, quite often you get them talking about Stone Cold, Rock, Kane, Undertaker, Triple H. There's the reason for that is because it was in pop culture. Like, it managed to break through. It was a product that was on people's radars. I just really don't think the casual person right now is aware of Cody and Roman and Bloodline and stuff like that. Nowhere near the same level as they was Stone Cold, Kane, Undertaker, Triple H, you know? I just don't feel like it's that same level. And as a result, I think we're going through a very successful period. And I think that we're maybe on the verge of something, but I don't feel like it's managed to punch through. And I just don't know that it will. Because I think back in the late 90s, we were so focused on just a few things, a few channels. We didn't have all the distractions we have now. We didn't have Netflix and streaming platforms, and video games weren't as big as they are now. I mean, Randy Orton said that he'd put, was it 300 hours, might even be 600 hours, into Elden Ring. That makes me think, so if it's 600 hours, I genuinely can't remember if it was 300 or 600. Either way, that's over 10 whole days. Even if, let's go 300, right? Even if it's 300, that's over 10 whole days, 11 whole days, maybe even 12 whole days into Elden Ring, right? That he is not watching TV. He is not on the internet. He's not doing anything out. He is just putting it into a video game. You couldn't have done that back in the late 90s. There weren't games that were that big. You could have finished 20 odd games in that time, if not more. So, like, you look at like how much there is now for people, how many movies and streaming platforms and different channels and the size of video games. I just don't know how WWE punches through all of that in 2024, 2025, 2026. Not like they did in 99 and 2000. It was a lot easier back then. So for that reason, I think The Rock is, and then of course he's gone on to have this monster film career as well, which has massively helped him, which I know is not part of his wrestling career, but I just think like it was shorter. Maybe the stories were not quite as compelling as Bloodline. I mean, if you really want to just focus on the creative and nothing else, you know, maybe that's a different conversation. But I think for me, it comes down to whose career would you rather have, Rock's career or Roman's career? And I'd rather have the Rock's. If someone was going to offer me, which one do you want? Do you want the Rock's career? Do you want Roman's career? I'd rather have the Rock's career for the reasons that I've outlined. So, but creative-wise, you could be correct. It could be that Roman did have better storylines. Right, where are we? We are 32 minutes. Let's go. To be fair, I think Roxanne needs to be SmackDown, said Daniel. Connor said, what's been the best transfer so far in the Premier League? Don't know. I don't think this has been a brilliant season, has it, for like transfers? I was quite excited by our defender Yoro, but he got injured. Don't know, that's a tricky one, that is. There's not loads of big players that have really kind of stood out in the Premier League when it's come to this window. Feels a bit more subdued. Might be because financial fair play. Undercover Manager said, when I say indie, I'm talking about OVW, ROW, ICW, maybe NWA, and that kind of level. Costs of running a channel can be balanced by ads. I don't want you to watch. I want you to present your own show, says Undercover Manager. Well, I just... how much are you going to have to pay for all of that? I mean, the money coming in is going to be X amount, but the amount of money that it's going to cost you to secure the rights for those is going to be really, really difficult. Plus, you're also competing with, isn't there like an indie streaming platform already that you can just subscribe to for, I don't know how much, James will know, but you can subscribe to this indie platform and you can just watch all the shows there. So if you're really into that stuff, you don't have to just watch what's being presented to you on a TV channel. You can pick and choose what you want to watch via a streaming platform. Don't know, but I'm not sure that's the. I'm not sure that feels like a dead end to me. Carl and Dawn said sometimes WWE, they want leaks to get out. That's interesting. Yeah, create a bit of a buzz. That's true. Sometimes I could see it being a case that they're not down on it leaking out. I still don't think though that that's great for the fans. I would much rather that it still be a surprise. But that is true. Sometimes I could believe the companies do want it to get out. Rakic, the Serbian midfielder, Man United were after him for 28 million. So for that to come to West Brom on loan, I'm going to take that, says Dale. James said, the last tweet I saw from Romano is that it is very close. Okay. Jamie said, we have this argument with The Rock Reigns, is that where you see The Rock's career ending against Reigns. We having this argument with Rock Reigns, is that where we see the career ending against Reigns? I think it would be a good place for it to end. I don't know that it would end there because, to be perfectly honest with you, he's back now and he's on the boards. And I think he's very aware that him being involved with the product on screen is going to be a good boost to the product. And so everything happens for money, really. Money makes the world go round. It's funny how The Rock was off filming and, you know, we could have done Rock Roman, like, at any point. But we didn't because The Rock was prioritized in his films. Now all of a sudden he joins the boards and now he's got time, right? Now, like, I don't know, the game has changed. So all of a sudden, I can prioritize wrestling. So I'm not down on that because it's beneficial to WWE, and, you know, little bit of a poke there in regards to, like, oh, it's funny how that works. But it is true, now that he's on the boards, if he is going to be involved in the product, it is going to be beneficial to the product. So, yeah, I think for him now to have a match with Roman and call it quits, he could still just pop up and do promos. But if I was The Rock, I would be tempted to just try and get the odd occasional match in there, because I know whenever I appear, it's going to be a big boost. And if I'm on the boards and I've got stock in the company, sizable amount of stock in the company, the stock is going to benefit if the product is hot and I have the ability to single-handedly make the product hot. Even if it's not hot, I can make it hot because I'm The Rock. And I can come in and I can, you know, be the final boss and all that. So, I don't know. For that reason, I don't know that we build it up to that's the end, because I think he'll be tempted to just always pull those trunks on and do one more, even if it's just a tag match, just to, you know, because he can. But you could make the argument that he can still have an impact even if he's not having matches, because he can always come out and just cut promos. And whenever The Rock's going to be on the show is going to be a boost, but it's going to be bigger if he's involved in a match, isn't it? It's always going to be bigger that way. Let's say Rock Roman at Mania 42, said Brony. The Rock would be 54-55. Would it be a smart move to have The Rock wrestle occasionally at that age? Well, I think so, because I think that as long as he feels like he can, then doing a match once in a while is not a big problem. I mean, I think there's actually, I don't know if you saw Unseen, but Dory Funk Jr. is having a match. Is it tomorrow? He's going to have a match, and he's going to be the oldest active wrestler ever to have a match at the age of like 80-something. No, I am not saying that we get The Rock to that point, right? But I'm saying, are we going to end it at WrestleMania 42? At the age of 54-55, like, is it going to make a massive difference if he goes 56, 57, 58? I don't know that we want to be going 60s and stuff like that, but I don't know. The question was, will he end it against Roman? And my answer is, I think he'll be tempted to always do that one more match, because I think he's got the ability to have that one more match, and he's got the ability to influence the share price, and the share price is important to him because he's got a lot of shares. So I don't know that you wrap it up against Roman. You could, but I could also see him being tempted to have one more after that, another one after that, another one after that. If you're 54, I can't imagine it being drastically different, you stopping when you're 54 compared to when you're 57. Do you know what I mean? Like 54, you're already well past the kind of point I would have expected you to be wrestling at. So if you're 54, does it make a big difference if you're 55, 56, 57, 58? I don't know. It does. You know, maybe if we get to 60, there might be some questions. Do you know what I mean? Maybe then people will be like, you need to stop. But it's all going to depend how he's feeling, isn't it? It's all going to depend. And ain't no one that's going to tell him no. So, because he's on the boards. I mean, it'd have to be Aria Manuel that would have to be like, no, we ain't sanctioning it. But if he was like, I feel good, I want to do this, I'm in the best shape of my life, I could see it happening, honestly. I could see it happening. So we'll have to wait and see. He could wrap it up, but I just think he'll always still be tempted. Just been announced that Drew is going to be in a film with Batista. Does that mean that Drew will be gone for a bit to film? Don't know when I don't know if that film's done, because there's a poster that's done around. I've seen that film, unless it's a new film. I've seen the poster doing the rounds. Would they have the poster sorted before the film? Kind of might be that the film has already been filmed, so I don't know that he's going to step away. Sting wrestled into his 60s, said Kader. Maybe we could do Rock against Omos. Omos is the right one to retire him, said Austin. The film is already done, said Maine, and Brony said that they have already filmed it. Besides Cody and Roman, who could The Rock face? Well, CM Punk, I think, would be a hell of a match. If you really want to build up Jacob, then I think Jacob would be a very... Maybe you'd want to do Solo, but I think Jacob would be very interesting. I also think you could do Rock and whoever. Maybe you do Rock and Solo against the Usos, which I think would be a really interesting match. So I think you've got a few options. I mean, let's not get it twisted. I don't think The Rock's going to be flipping going up against Ilya Dragunov, or, going to be faffing around with Braun Strowman. I don't think he's just going to be facing anyone, but I do think there's enough options on the table where you could do a WrestleMania match, a SummerSlam match for quite a few years, for quite a while. I think that Cody could be great in the Marvel MCU, said Elizabeth. Ram said, did you hear that Ricochet had apparently signed with AEW? I did, but yes, I did. Austin said The Rock versus Nia Jax. Apex said, have you seen Small Afro video? No, I don't even know who that is. I don't even know where that comment's gone. Video, I put 30 content creators in a Royal Rumble. Apex, shout out to you. No, I have not. I've seen those kinds of videos done before, though. They can be pretty fun. The 6 Horror Kingman said Ricochet is not the one and only anymore. Brony said, could you imagine him if Jacob retired The Rock? That would be pretty cool, and that would be huge for Jacob. I agree. I feel like Roman's a made man already. I don't think... I agree. That would be massive for Jacob. That could be really fun, couldn't it? That could be really fun. I'd definitely be down for that. I forgot. I still wish they could have existed at the end. Paradigm Shift said, did you see the scene at the end of the credits? What are we referring to? Josh, the greatest one, said, I need Nick to stop being SmackDown GM and get in the ring. I need that as well, but I would love to see Nick Aldis getting into the ring. I need that as well. A lot of time for Nick Aldis. He was brilliant in NWA, and I don't think they've necessarily done him dirty. I think he's just really pleased to be a part of the WWE family, but it is a real shame that for some reason we have not... I don't know why we're treating him that way when he's such a good in-ring performer. He's really good. He's got something to offer, definitely. So I just don't know. I mean, I wonder if he is asking Triple H, like, is there any chance? Any chance? I mean, I'm sure they'll give him a match, but it might be one of those where he faces Adam Pearce or something. You know, a little bit like how we did Jerry Lawler, Michael Cole. It could be one of those situations. But Nick has done a great job as SmackDown GM, said Brony. I'm hoping he'll get back in the ring one day. Maine said, I don't like Ricochet going to AEW. I hope we don't lose Samantha because of his move. Still hoping it's not true. Little Ray said, who will be the next big-time wrestler in the Hollywood industry? It depends who wants it, really. I mean, it'd be an easy one to say Cody or say Roman. I mean, the thing with Cody is Cody said that he would stop when he got to the age of 40. I think he has backtracked on that now. But I don't think Cody's looking to go 45, 46, 47, 48. But I could see him being interested in going into Hollywood. So I could see Cody being interested to pursue that. And Roman, of course, he's already done a couple of little bits, hasn't he? But again, he's not ready to totally walk away yet. So yeah, there's definitely a couple. Definitely a couple. I think it just depends who gets the opportunity. I think that if the opportunities were to come to Mercedes Moné, I think she would be interested as well. You know, I mean, she already did like The Mandalorian. I thought that would lead to more for her. I don't know why. I mean, everything I heard was that she did a great job, so I am surprised it didn't lead to more, to be honest. But yeah, I think she's someone that definitely has got the acting bug. Calvin said, do we see a repeat of Elimination Chamber on the Grayson Waller Effect? Only Theory not helping Waller. I feel like we are getting closer to that split. So, yeah, we could do. I'd forgotten about that segment, you know. I'd forgotten about that Seth and Cody said. Do you remember Seth putting his middle finger up? So they were talking about Roman, and rather than acknowledging, he stuck his middle finger up. I remember posting an image of that, and Seth actually retweeted it with like a "don't tell anyone" kind of emoji, which was kind of fun. So yeah, I'd forgotten they'd done that segment. So yeah, perhaps we will get a little repeat of that. Sheep said, I love that Cena is retiring from the ring. More should do that rather than overstay and ruin their legends. Rock has one, max 2 storylines left before it becomes embarrassing. SP said, per Mickey a while back, Nick just took the job that was offered. Yeah. I still would love for him to be trying to twist the arm to try and see if he could get a bit more, though. Love that guy. He's brilliant in the ring. LS Dub, shout out to you, saying hello all. Hello, my friend. I hope you are well. Star Wars is killing careers, not making them, said Shy. She did a great job, but Disney is just not doing any favors. That's a shame, actually. I mean, you know... I think that she divides opinion. Who doesn't? But I think she looked great in that role. And everyone said she did a great job. And I could totally see her getting into that world, you know? So, I don't know. That's a real shame. I would have thought with her, you know, she's an attractive woman who can do the job. And you would think opportunities would open up for her. So, I don't know who her management are, but... if I was her, well, maybe she just doesn't want it. Perhaps she's just like totally committed to AEW. Perhaps she just wants to do wrestling for a bit and then get into films after. Perhaps that's a preference thing. But if she wanted to do more in that world and it's just not come her way, I think she should ask some questions of her management as to why she has not been getting the opportunities, you know. Charlotte will be back and Alexa will have other big names as well, said Daniel. Jamie said, I'd like to see Kevin Owens turn heel after his match with Cody. Phantom said, I just had a nap and now I'm ready for SmackDown. I'm glad that Nikki kicked butt on Monday. The 6 Horror King men said, to be honest, Star Wars are more females now. It's crazy that she didn't get more shots. Daniel said, not Rock, 2 storylines left. Face Austin Theory would be fun, said Dominic. I agree with that. I would love to see a Face Austin Theory, and I think we're moving closer to it as well. Imagine Monster Babyface Jay versus Monster Heel The Rock for the People's title belt, said Wrestle with Andy. I think it's difficult, isn't it? Because I think they went too far with John Cena. I think Cena was Super Cena, and then I think Cena said he's not won a singles match since like 2018. They kind of went a bit too far in the other direction of Cena just being there to put people over. I mean, brilliant. Loads of people put him over. It's right that he does the job for, you know, people, but I don't know, not giving him anything over that time period. I think this is why I'm quite excited for his run next year, to be honest, because I really think it's going to have a lot more back and forth, and I think he will get wins and he will have momentum as they surely try and get him to that title. There cannot be a booker in the world that would not at least put Cena in a title match to try and break the records. There can't be a booker in the world that would just not have him nowhere near that, you know? Have him like win a gauntlet match by coming in last. Have him win a battle royal by surviving it and becoming the #1 contender. It doesn't even have to win the Rumble, but you could have him win the Rumble. He doesn't even have to win Elimination Chamber, but he could be the last one in and he could win Elimination Chamber, right? Battle Royal would probably be the easiest way if you really wanted to do that. But you could find ways of making him #1 contender, right? Or you could do a tournament and just have him win the tournament. But again, if you think that's a bit too much for him at his age, then there's other ways. And I just can't think there's a booker in the world that wouldn't have him go for at least. I'm not saying he wins, but you surely put him in the match. People are so opinionated on whether he should break the record or not that you put him in the match. I don't know that he wins the title. I think he probably does, but I think you put him in the match. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next year because I think there will be a lot of back and forth. I think there will be a lot of dramatic moments. I would definitely do something between him and The Rock. I'm not even saying that it would be a match, but I think there needs to be segments because The Rock can blame Cena for getting involved at WrestleMania 40. And we know that they faced twice. And, you know, you could have that little back and forth between them just one more time. Doesn't have to lead to a match, but it could be one hell of a segment. Could be what? Imagine The Rock beating Cena down like the way that he beat down Cody. Maybe leads to a tag match or something like this. I don't know. I think, or maybe maybe Cena supports Cody as we do Cody Rock, and maybe Cody comes to Cena's aid, and maybe we do something along those lines if we don't want to do Rock Cena again, which I would understand. But there's so many people coming out, you know. I think Drew wants to face him. Cody wants to face him. Randy wants to face him. Apparently he's working 30 dates. I reckon you can easily find 30 wrestlers that want to work with John Cena. And he ain't going to work a match every time he's out there, I don't think. But next year is going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Because we're going to be building up Cena feuds, and I think they're really going to matter because they're going to be the last ones. You know, whoever he faces, it's probably going to be the last time he faces them. I don't know that he faces anyone twice next year. He's doing 30-odd dates. So, is he going to face anyone twice? Probably not. So, that means every time he faces someone, it'll be the last time. And I think he'll face quite a few people, and I think he'll be in some really dramatic moments, and I could see him being around the title. It's going to be so good. I'm so excited. I think it's going to be such a great year next year. Right, let's go down. Cena turning heel during that retirement tour would be a dumb decision, in my opinion, said Brony. Austin said, I'm surprised that Drew hasn't faced him yet. I do remember when people thought that Drew Cena was going to happen at SummerSlam in like 2020, 2021. Connor said, these should be the 5 returns at Bash in Berlin. It should be Raquel Rodriguez, AJ Styles, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and Jimmy Uso. The 6 Horror Kingman said, Days, hopefully Jimmy doesn't cost Bloodline. I don't want to see Street Profits win. They are so stale. They need to go their own way at this point. Cena against Uncle Howdy. I don't know about that one. I mean, you could definitely do it, but I think there would need to be a reason as to why. Why would Howdy want that match? Why would Howdy want that? I mean, I feel it's hard to know what came of the Firefly Funhouse match. It's, you know, that whole thing was obviously just bonkers, but what would be the purpose of it other than Howdy just wanting to test himself against the legend, maybe? I don't know. But that's not really what Howdy's here for, is it? He's not really here for himself. He's here for the group. So I think I can understand why people would want that, but I would just be a little bit worried about how do we get to that. TNT Pro Wrestling said, when do we think Shotzi will be back? I don't think she'll be too long because she's been gone for ages. So I don't think she'll be too far away. She's kind of mixed up her look and everything. Keep seeing her changing her hair, and I don't know. I'm not expecting it to be like Bash in Berlin or anything like that, but she could certainly come back like later this year. Maybe Bad Blood from that point. I don't think they'd fly her over to Germany. You might as well just do it, you know, in America. But yeah, I can't remember how long, like when she got injured, but feels like she's been out for quite a long time now. Wasn't it when she was down in NXT? Am I remembering that right? Down in NXT and she had just a little fall to the outside. That's ages ago. Ages. Cody started a whole other company. He could become the next Cena and the biggest babyface. He ain't going to turn heel anytime soon, said Trini. 6 Hurricane Men said, after Cena, it really did hurt the Wyatt family. Remember the kids was singing and everything. Yeah, but they did the Firefly Funhouse match, didn't they? So I feel like Bray had at WrestleMania 36 his match with Cena. And, you know, we had Cena confronting his past and all what, you know, all that stuff. So I think the Firefly Funhouse match kind of dealt with their earlier feuds. Like Bray was able to kind of revisit the Cena situation. So this is why I don't think Howdy needs to. Because we did it for the Firefly Funhouse match. Now, if Cena had done anything to Bray after that point, then I would be a bit more inclined to go, yeah, that makes sense. But I don't believe he did, because he kept going away and then coming back and starting new feuds. So I feel like any issues between John and Bray were sorted out in that Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania 36. Brony said, we need a Cena-Roman segment in 2025, with both of them being faces. The crowd would pop huge, even if it's just John. Give him Roman props. Logan said, I can't believe it's been a year today since Bray's death. It is here in the UK, yes. Still a bit to go in America, but yeah, you're going to see a lot of posts about Bray. Tomorrow's Unseen, I think, is going to be very... And I can't remember when I said this. I think it was on the members stream. It's not an advert for Unseen, but it's just genuinely, I'm going to gather together a lot of what gets said. Obviously, this is what you've missed on social media throughout the day. And I've no doubt that today is going to be just very, very, very Bray Wyatt heavy. Just very Bray Wyatt heavy. So I can see it being a case that tomorrow's Unseen is going to be full of all the Bray stuff. So I'm sure it'll be very touching and heartfelt and everything. But hopefully it's not too much of a downer, because everyone's got stuff going on in their lives. And it's such a horrible, horrible situation. And you know that his family are going to be suffering. And you know it's a time for remembrance and paying respects and, you know, all of that. But I don't like the idea of fans getting all emotional and upset. And Bray wouldn't want that. I can't imagine Bray would want that. I can't imagine Bray would want, like, people to be hurt and suffering, you know, remembering him. So I would say, you know, try and keep it light. Certainly if you're someone that really had, like, you know, feelings and felt a connection with Bray, I would say really try to remember the good times rather than focusing on his passing, of course, and, you know, the sadness of that. Try and remember all the great memories that he gave you instead. I just think that's going to be healthier for some people, because it is quite heavy stuff, isn't it? It's really heavy stuff. Right, I need to change this channel. I think I'm on the wrong flipping TV channel, so give me 1 second. Yeah, I was. Right, I'm back. Sometimes that doesn't work very well, and sometimes it's a flipping nightmare, but it actually changed all right then, so that was good. Right, how long we got? We got just 4 minutes! 4 minutes to go. We need to go here. We need to set this up. Let's go down. There we go. Lovely, 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 lovely. Lovely. Okay. Joe Budden only gets a gold plaque for Pump It Up. Did you see that John Cena actually came out with who he thinks are the best rappers of all time? Thought that was quite interesting. John kind of sharing his thoughts on that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I don't know how, but you're always like a few minutes ahead of me, says Kelly. Don't know. Well, I don't watch it over the internet, and that makes a big difference, I believe. I watch it obviously on TV. Internet, there's always like a bit of a delay when it's over the internet, but if it comes through cable, it's normally pretty good, to be honest. So I would say you could always pause the thing and just be a few minutes behind. Obviously, if you want to chat live, then it's a bit tricky, but yeah, it's hard, that, isn't it? It's difficult. We're always just going to be, I think, a little bit out with different people. So I think some people were ahead of, some people were behind of, and I don't think we're ever going to get everyone in line. Because we have people joining us all around the world, don't we? So obviously the signal, it takes time to get to different places. But very strange that I'm ahead. I would imagine I was normally be behind. But I usually have to rewind it by about 20 seconds. Days is a bit ahead of me as well. Frankie said, I just thought Days could predict the future. That's what it is, Frankie. That's what it is. I don't even have the show on, to be honest. I just sit here guessing at what's happening. James said, Days, Cena needs to at least face Punk, Orton, Seth, Drew, Cody, and I do love Austin's idea of Cena and Braun. Yeah, I'd be down for all of those. I'd be down for all of those. Days is secretly Zoltar. Let's go. There'll be a lot of people that don't know who that is, Miss Clown. 6 Horror King men, shout out to you. You line up the video as well, do you? I could imagine people doing that, yes. I always wait for Days to say something and then I pause him when it happens on TV. I unpause him. Sometimes I nail it, sometimes not, says Callie. Oh, really? It's interesting, isn't it? I'll have to bear that in mind as people are like queuing me up. I might have to start saying, right, here we go, like, we've got this, we've got that. Give you like clues as to what I can actually see at certain times. Travis said Days is pulling a Dave Meltzer and he's just guessing what's going to happen, says Travis. That's exactly what I do. It's normally about 30 seconds ahead for me as well, says Matt. Well, I kind of like being ahead only because you can pause it or go back and, you know, make it work. If I'm behind, there's nothing we can do. You'd have to pause your TV. And then we'd have to try and sync it up that way. So, yeah, I don't mind it being this way round. Okay, let's go. We do have the signature. Okay, let's go. Let's go, baby. Bum, bum. Diddle it, diddle it. Together. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so we've got the Ula Fala being placed over the neck of Solo last week. I love you. Tonight. Roman needs to acknowledge me. So, if you want this Ula Fala back, bring your ass out here, said Solo. Looks in the entranceway, lights come on as Roman makes his way out. This is all a recap of last week. As Roman stares, fireworks go off. Original tribal chief. I would have Cena go through his run and then towards the end cut a promo saying goodbye, mentioning he's worried as he doesn't see enough ruthless aggression in the locker room, and then Braun takes him out, says Undercover Manager. Afsal said, how are you doing? Have you seen Ronaldo YouTube? No, but But then I wouldn't look for Ronaldo's YouTube. Does he talk much about wrestling? Sting should have stopped wrestling 10 years ago, sent Inside Out again. Daniel Cap said, isn't Cena on a huge losing streak? He is. He is. What channel is it on? I'm watching it on TNT Sports, but I'm sure you will find it elsewhere. So it looks like we're going to be having Cody kicking it off. So we got Roman in the ring. Jacob Fatu, man, messing up Roman Reigns was sick. That was so good. Dormouse69 said, hit that like button and subscribe. Dormouse, shout out to you, my friends. Big shout out to everyone that's joining us as this week's SmackDown is getting underway. We're just still recapping what went down last week. So it's quite a big recap because it was quite a big moment, wasn't it? Roman getting beaten down. Solo and the Bloodline standing over Roman. Acknowledging with their arms in the air. And there they are. Bloodline. All four of them. We've got the tag titles being defended tonight, of course. Who's better than me? We are live. Okay, so I believe it's Cody that's opening the show. At least that's what he's just kind of hinted at. I'm going to go with it. I've gone with it, guys. I've gone with it. I've flipping gone with it. Ladies and gentlemen. The Friday nights. Yeah, here we go. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. So we are starting with the Grayson Waller effects. Mitchell said, I can't watch SmackDown in my area because of NFL. Oh, really? Really? Well, we've got A-Town Down Under in the ring. We've got the Grayson Waller effects. Looks like he's got some new trees in the background. So he's talking about Cody. The American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is making his way out. Looks really good. I like those trees. Theory needs a babyface push, said Prince Bowie. Days uses the DeLorean time machine that he stole from Dr. Emmett Brown and Marty McFly. What channel is it on? I've got it on TNT Sports 1, but I think you'll find it in America on Fox. Moldy Spoon, hello. Hope you are well. Great shirt, Grayson. Oh, I didn't see his shirt. Cody is coming out. What was on his shirt? Screw the Fox Sports app. I would rather steal it from a hack stream out of principle, said Triton. Steal it, guys. Steal it. Oh, yeah. Nice shirt. Just bright. Just a bright shirt, innit? Turn it all away. In Canada, it's on Sportsnet. Sportsnet. Cody making his way down. We got a graphic for his match against Kevin Owens. Undisputed WWE Championship match. There is the championship. Cody takes a look at it, laughs. Steps inside the ring. Nah. Grayson interrupt him. Grayson interrupting. Loud boos. We did the cringe whoa. Yeah. Get down here. We did the cringe whoa. Is that a mat or is it being projected? I feel like it's being projected onto the ring. It looks really good, though. The Grayson Waller sign on the ring canvas. Is it being projected? It's not really showing on the desk if it is, or showing on the chair if it's being projected. So perhaps it's a mat. Oh, I think it is a carpet, isn't it? It looks really good. Lucifer, shout out to you, my friends. You said where it was, and I was able to watch it. Oh, that's good. That's good. I know the truth, says Grayson. Cody. Loud Cody. We got green shirt guy. Green shirt guy spotted. Oh my God. What's he doing here? What's green shirt guy doing? I know how selfish you are. You only care about the WWE Championship. In Australia, we have a 24-hour channel, says Alan. Of what? Wrestling? What kind of friend are you? Are you done, says Cody. So we're talking about Kevin Owens. So Cody's like, it might seem like charity, but if you put the SmackDown list on the wall, Kevin Owens is like one of the top superstars. Kevin Owens has not stopped fighting. He's been beaten up. He's been taken out. But he's not stopped fighting. I would not be sitting here WWE champion if it wasn't for Kevin Owens. Can you say the same thing, Grayson Waller? What's Theory doing? Theory's behind Great. I just saw him like... Hey, Magic Mike, you hear what I'm saying? Oh, let's go. Let's go. This man is using you. People are waiting for you to do something about it. Oh, you ain't turning this. This is my best mate. We would never turn on each other. Ah, this is good. Austin flexing on Grayson's Instagram live. Oh, is that what it was? We prepared something for you to watch, says Grayson and Theory. Kevin Owens. Exhibit A, Sami Zayn. So we're seeing Kevin turn on Sami Zayn. 2014. Exhibit B, John Cena. Boom, that was 2015. Exhibit C, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho. 2017. I tell you what, people are going to react to that, aren't they? Jericho being featured on WWE TV. Exhibit D, Kofi Kingston. Boom! That was 2019. The Festival of Friendship was so good, though. I'm pleased they added it. Exhibit E, Sami Zayn. Yep, again. Yep. And there we go, he turns on him again. This is good. A kid's got a sign that said, I skipped school to see Cody. It's summer holidays. You ain't skipped shiz, said Jay. That doesn't look like a good friend. Oh, here's Kevin. Here's Kevin. Wow. I can't stand back there. Whilst you try to convince Cody, I'm going to turn on him. I just tweeted out the learning tree is coming home. I don't believe that, by the way. I'm just a trolly troll. They all seem to be an odd number of years, says Massa. Tag match. Let's skip that. Can Nick Aldis just come out real quick? So Kevin's like, we know where this is going. You look incredible. Can you just make this tag match? We know where this is going. It's going to be a brawl. Main event, Cody and Kevin against... now, is that where they fall out? Are we finally going to have a town down under split? Kevin. Nick Aldis is like, just make it quick. It's a bit unusual for a GM to allow that, isn't it? Isn't that a bit unusual? Normally the GMs are like desperately trying to keep order. Instead he's like, just make it quick, would you? If you're going to get in there and cause trouble. Okay, Kevin just checking on Cody. So there's a few little bit in there. Oh, hello, the chair gets thrown. So Grayson pushed Kevin into Cody. I think Cody may be just wondering, is there anything to what was said? Feels like we're teasing that we're going to have a fallout between Cody and Kevin, and then the actual fallout will be between Theory and Grayson. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels. KO destroying the set, said William. Don't you think that Tony Khan had something to do with making sure no one watches SmackDown and they're watching Jaguars instead, said CJ Digital? I don't know, to be honest, because I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think he gets to choose the schedule. You forgot that Aldis is English. We love a punch-up, said James. That is true. That's a good point, actually. I'm shocked they mentioned Jericho, said Joe. Yeah, I was as well. Yeah, man, we got an advert for Raw. Let's go. Uncle Howdy against Chads. Raw Monday. Big Bronson against Braun. It's going to be sick, man. Monday's Raw is going to be sick. Are you doing a live stream for the AJ fight after Bash in Berlin? I don't know, to be honest. I don't think so. I think my focus is very much on Bash in Berlin. SmackDown is playing on Fox to me, said Alkaline. Pillskin said, KO, they don't have adrenaline in their soul. Oh, is that what he said? Nice. Cameron said, you just made the list. Jay said Cody is going to turn heel soon. I can't wait for that, said Average Nick. Excellence of execution, said when Y2J was in shape. How dare you disrespect the learning tree? Strowman joining Wyatt 6 is going to be right around the corner, said Daniel. Natalie said on Insta there's rumours that Becky will be going to AEW this weekend. Lol. I really don't see that. I really don't see that. That's what she said. Said Raw will be sick, that it'll need a decongestant. Oh, it's going to be so sick. You're right, it's going to need medical attention. James said bash in the forbidden door. Listen, James, whatever it is that you're up to right now, you can keep that to yourself, you dirty young thing. Kelly said Becky's not going to AEW. Connor said, when do you see Becky returning? I just think she's really enjoying her time with her daughter. So I just think that she is... Because she did an interview the other day where she said that she is really just taking some time for herself because she's just worked not only being a full-time wrestler, but also being a full-time mom. And I think that book really took a lot out of her because she went to lessons on like how to write, and she didn't use a shadow writer. She like wrote it herself, and she wanted it to be good, and she wanted it to, you know, work, and so she took writing lessons. So I think she really did have a lot on her plate, that and wrestling and being a mom. So I think she's just sort of enjoying like this breather right now. Is Cody going to turn on KO? I don't think anyone would expect it that way, said Jack. I personally don't think so. But, well, you never know. I don't think so, only because, you know, if we're going to do Cody against The Rock, I can't see Cody being a heel. Why is SmackDown not on? It is, but it's not on in certain places because of football, apparently. Moldy said, I honestly can't call anything anymore. Punk going to WWE, Edge going to AEW, even though Becky is with Seth. I honestly never say never. That's fair. I also would never say never anymore. But I'm going to say 99.999999% certain she won't be at AEW this weekend. Alkaline said there's ones and there's twos, and AEW is the biggest two. I can't watch it here either, said Jennifer. NFL is on. Pfft, stupid NFL. I mean, all I'd say is you haven't really missed loads so far, you know? It was a fun little opening segment, but all it led to was a tag match. So, here's LA Knight. LA Knight. So, the United States Championship now being defended. Oh my god, now you're missing something. It's a title match. It's a title match, LA Knight against Santos Escobar. Yeah, someone just yelled, yeah. Big pop for LA Knight as he makes his way down to the ring. Yeah, man. Okay, so he's made his way down, the United States champion. In red, big reaction for him, as you would expect. Becky said she'd return to WWE before anywhere else, says we round 1000. Wasn't that the building from Spider-Man, said Spartan. Yep. I've also no idea what you're on about, but yep. And I think Spider-Man is actually there tonight as well. Okay, so now we're getting Santos making his way down. Jojo said, get Fubo TV free trial. You can watch SmackDown. There you go. Miss Clown said, clean your doorknob. Keep it clean, please. Doorknobs, that is. Connor said, I see Finn, JD, Carlito coming out and attacking Damian and Liv. Attacking Rhea. I'm not sure we get that tonight. Maybe on Monday. Daniel said lots of title matches and matches in general being left off the bash cards. I expect the final bash card to have 6 great matches. You're not missing nothing. LA's going to destroy Santos, said TJF. Miss Clown said, I love a good power bomb. I meant on Monday, says Connor. Got you, Connor. Matt said, I wish his name was Eli Drake or anything except LA. What about Barry Bum Bum? Would you rather he be called Barry Bum Bum? Or does LA Night not sound so bad now? You guys said that about Mercedes, and Adam says Tony Khan. I don't know that we did. I'm pretty sure that we said Mercedes was going to AEW because Sean Ross Sapp was quite adamant on that for months before she came in. But there ain't no rumours about Becky. People who have got NFL on Fat Fox, try Fox Sports 1. Oh, hello. Oh, here we go. Angel and Berto. So we were just getting the intros. And Angel and Berto. Oh, look at Santos. He's like, I didn't know. I bet he did, you know. They just grabbed LA Knight. Yeah, Electra's like, I don't know what's going on. LA Knight gets hurled into the ring steps. Santos. Oh, dear. Well, isn't the joke on him? Like, how can this match continue? Just DQ. You and you out of there. If the match has started, then you DQ Santos. If the match hasn't started, then he might not be in a condition. Oh my God! Oh my God! Electra just spun Jessica Carr around like this. Jessica Carr's like, you're out of there. I thought she was going to smash her one. She's like, oh, Jessica Carr, I'm sorry. We're doing this, are we? I do love that reaction. That reaction from Jessica Carr, like, girlfriend, what? I'm sorry, you seem to be under the impression that you can just spin me round. Guys, you need to get an image of that and you need to put it on social media because that is going to play so well. That moment of Jessica Carr, like, reacting to Elektra Lopez. Get a clip, put it on social media, get images, put them on social media. Put something like sister just cooked with a fire emoji. That's what you need. Jessica ain't taking no shiz tonight. Something like that. Fill your boots, kids. Fill your boots. Geese HT said, I would have loved an image of that. Well, I think I did really well portraying it. I feel like basically you saw it, to be honest. Where are you watching it, says Marv Lund. I am watching it in the UK. Thank you. Jessica Carr needs to work on her ejection gesture. That was pretty weak. Yeah, I do like... Out of there! She does need to work on that. Kian said, check on your Twitter. I've replied to it. I think you'll find it fun. I'll be the judge of that, Kian. I'll be the judge of... I don't even know where it is, but... I don't even know where it is. Kian, you've not responded. You've lied. You've lied. Days, I've been in the pub tonight. I'm absolutely steaming. I can't talk much or walk, so I'm off to bed. Oh, no. Stick around, Edward. Stick around. Edward, who really winds you up in the community? Oh, yeah. Let's start some fires. Tony K said that was the most movement Days has done in years. I'm knackered, mate, honestly. Oh, I'm knackered. I'm watching it on the Fox Sports app, said Deshaun. Tony Khan said, yes, you did. The day that she walked out, WWE said she was going to dub. No. No. I actually was saying that she was going to go to AEW. Jack said, some me just want to watch the world burn. I feel like that meme with the flames in the background. Brandon said, you're going to play live footage or replay? Reenact, Brandon. I have tried playing the actual show on streams. People just aren't interested, but it seems like people are a lot more engaged when I actually reenact what happens, like physically. Just like I did with Jessica Carr, so I like to try and do that instead. Do you think LA Knight wins, said Suzanne. Yeah. I think both champs retain, to be honest. But if we're doing reenactments, can I play AJ Styles? No, you've got to be Elektra Lopez. People that can't watch us, says Higgy. Higgy, shout out to you. This ring announcer is doing the most. It makes you not even want to watch. The ring announcer is doing the most. Who? Alicia Tate. Is it Alicia tonight or Samantha? I don't know who's on what show. Here we've got the commentary table being cleared. Maggie said, I want a day's dance. Well, the night is young. Here we go. We've got LA Knight on the outside with Santos crowd making some noise. Crowd are chanting for tables. LA Knight goes down. I don't need a drink to say what I feel about most. No, I reckon after you've had a drink, you go really quiet. Kick coming in there by Santos. Will SmackDown be on later in the USA? I don't know. I can't believe so many of you are missing it, to be honest. Here we go. Santos is up top. And we double knees onto LA Knight. LA Knight goes onto the commentary table. Yeah. The commentary table didn't break, though. That must have been really disappointing to do that and not have the commentary table break. So Santos looking around with a big smile on his face. Santos is climbing up. And frog splash there by Escobar. 1, 2. Shoulder up by LA Knight. Hot crowds. Really good crowds. Really good. Kelly said SmackDown is on Fox in the US, at least where I'm at. Raven said, I'm just going to sit back and watch. I'm actually worse when I'm drunk. I don't censor myself at all. Sonny, hello. Hope you are well. If AJ Styles does return, can you mark out for me, please? I'll be like, yeah. Woo. AJ. I like that. This is good. He's using that top rope to choke LA Knight. Crowd are firmly behind LA Knight, though. So we've had all the people removed from the ringside area. Back elbow there by LA Knight. Against the ropes goes Santos. LA Knight goes down. Didn't work. Santos in control, coming off the ropes. Elbow drop. LA Knight moves out the way. So obviously we know what our main event is tonight. Oh, big boot there by Santos Escobar. Up. Ooh, inverted drop into a lovely clothesline there by LA Knight. LA Knight in control. Sign in the crowd says Owen is Usi, and I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I need more Jacob Fatu, said Paradigm Shifts. Will we get a video package about Bray, says WWE Biggest Fan. I don't think so. I'm not expecting one. If it was today, then I would think so, but it is technically tomorrow in America. In the corner goes Santos. Oh, lovely net breaker by LA Knight. Lovely net breaker. In the corner, throwing in these kicks. Yeah, let's go, man. LA Knight, yeah. And he goes back over to the other sides. Could you narrate it in the style of a Shakespearean play? It's hard enough doing it in English as LA Knight gets a 2-count kick out there by Santos. So that was pretty sick, man. I really thought that was the finish, you know. They just showed an amazing sign in the crowds. They've got a massive head of LA Knight, and then all the other people were holding up the yeah letters. That was really good. LA Knight back in control. He was looking for the BFT, but there's a back elbow there by Santos. He's got him up. LA Knight goes over against the rope super kick. LA Knight slumps into the corner, and he's looking to perch him up top rope into Guri. Boom! Connects. It's a real fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how people want to score this, you know. We got both fighters on the top. Santos goes down. I need a pen. I need to get ready. Feel like we're getting towards the business end of this. LA Knight on that middle rope. LA Knight jumps up into the elbow. Connects. Looking for the BFT. Connects. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. LA Knight wins. LA Knight wins. Yeah. 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 Let's get people's scores. What did you think about it? LA Knight, fun match. They tried to plant a bit more doubt in your mind by having Legado attack before. Wow. Lovely. What do we think about Roman's return, your tribal chief? Is he the tribal chief? He's my tribal chief. I acknowledge Jacob Fatu. He is the real tribal chief. We're seeing last week in that amazing match between Carmelo and Andrade. That was a lot of fun. Let's go, man. This is something they do great with Triple H's booking, said Daniel. When they want to put on a great TV match, they do. Mostly save for PLEs, but when they do, when it matters. Well said. Okay, so... is this the barbershop? Carmelo. Is that the barbershop? I don't know that it is, actually. You should be thanking me. Oh, Andrade comes in. Oh, is it the barbershop? I'm all confused. I've never seen so many ring lights in my life. Oh, I'm liking this feud, you know. We need to lock these doors when I'm talking, says Carmelo. Yeah, I think we were actually in the barbershop there. Okay, I think we've got the Unholy Union. William said AEW's biggest problem is the culture it currently fosters. It's the fans that have ran people off and discouraged anyone from watching. You cannot be a casual AEW fan. There, take that reality. Well, that was a big lump of seriousness, wasn't it, William? That's not the kind of... I thought you was going to say the word penis. Okay, big 6-woman tag match coming up. Naomi, Bianca, Jade taking on Isla, Alba, and Blair. Dream match. Right. We need old-fashioned best of 7. Yeah, maybe we do. Such a good feud, isn't it? Really good. Maggie says, I acknowledge the real tribal chief, the one and only Jacob Fatu. Maggie. Well done, Maggie. Respect. For too long you've lived a lie, Maggie. For too long you've been banging on about Roman Reigns when the real tribal chief was there all along. Hey? That was big. That was big, Maggie. That was a big moment. If you want to watch SmackDown for free on Samsung, you can go to a web browser. You can download HD stream. Oh, can you, Apex? Can you? It's not one of those dodgy situations, is it? Eh? You could then watch it on TNT1, but it will be like 20 or 30 seconds late. HD streams. You didn't hear that from me, kids. You did not hear that from me. Great 62%, that one. Great 62. Daniel said, notice they've basically made all the women rounded into threes now. I like it because it gets everyone some TV time, even if they're just in the background, but it does get exposure. I am all for exposure of the women's division. I'm all for that. Wrestlelandy said Unholy Union should start a faction called the Witches. Remember the movie The Witches? I do. I do. Edward said, Days, I honestly don't know who times me up. I guess anyone winds me up, but I don't know the most, says Edward. I feel like Edward's just taken half an hour to type that out because he's drunk. I don't know what HD streams is, says Cameron. Well, neither do I, Cameron, and you've not heard it from me. I tried the Fox app and it just tunes to your area, says Mitchell. Can't you use the Fox app and VPN and go to a different area? How about that? How about that? Uncle Howdy versus Aunt Howdy, says Finger Poppy. Shout out to Anna J being in the Stardom GP tournament, says Al. It's a month-long tournament and it's equal to WrestleMania. Hang on. Hang on. Stardom's GP month-long tournament is equal to WrestleMania. Al, I've got some questions, mate. I've got some questions. How many people go to the Stardom GP tournament? It's quite an honor to have been invited, says Al. Al? Have we got a little bit carried away? Just asking a question. Just asking a question. For Japan. Okay, there we go. Days, are you enjoying Cody's title? It's been almost no in every sense. I like Cody, and I like the fact he finished his story. I do think we should have booked him better after WrestleMania, and I would also like that belt to be changed. Do you remember when he was IC champ and he changed the IC title to the old school one? And then we thought as soon as he was going to become champ, he was going to change this one to the Winged Eagle. And he said he wanted to. Someone is stopping him. Someone is stopping Cody from doing the right thing. I blame Vince. I blame Vince. I read it, Edward. I just read it. I know you're off your face, but I did read it. Getting off Twitter was the healthiest decision I ever made for my mental health. I encourage more to do it. Yes. I don't disagree with that. Trini. No. What's this, Santos? You're no good use to me if you're not out there. Here's Apollo and Baron Corbin. You just lost. What's going on here? We've got Legado backstage with Apollo and Baron. They're mocking him. We're going to sort this out next week. Dream match. Okay, back in the ring, we got Blair, we got Isla, we got Alba. Isla just waved. Cody could get rid of that toy belt from Toys R Us, said TJF. Trini, but now you miss my golden shiz on Twitter. Your what? Okay, big cheer. Because Jade's coming out. Baron Corbin is one of the biggest what-ifs in wrestling, said Jack. I think you're right. I think you're right. He's got a lot of fans in this community. What if we could just book him right? Triple H should fire Carrion and hose ugly boys instead of hurt business, says Clark. What does that mean? Hose ugly boys. What does that mean? Average Nick said, she waved to me. How sweet. Brony said, how is Baron Corbin the biggest what if? Because what if we booked him better? What if we actually gave him something to do? Rather than just constantly faffing around. He's in a tag team with Apollo, and I don't think it's because they think this is a good idea. I think it's just because they don't know what else to do with him. I think that's the truth. They don't know what to do with him, and they don't know what to do with Apollo. And so you fall into that category of, should we just put them together? I never needed you at all. Watch you fall down. Oh, hello. Oh my God, she's got like USA gymnastics attire on. Look at that. She looks like she could go competing at the Olympic Games. She's Bianca's got like a singlet. And it's white with USA written on, and it's very stars and stripes. Psh, I'm going to put, is that Bianca or Simone Biles? I mean, it's Bianca, innit? People will just go, it's Bianca. No, it's Bianca. It's definitely Bianca. She's got the hair. She's swinging the hair around. It's definitely Bianca. But she could be in the gymnastics team. I'm gonna watch you fall down. Large now. I never needed you at all. It's a nice outfit, actually, you know. It's pretty fly. Watch me shine. Now, it's a shame that all three of them aren't in something similar. That's really good. I really like it. I don't need the lips on the front, but I know that's her shtick. Let's go. We're in the nation's capital. Is that why? Is that why? Have we just gone big with our USA theme? It's good. It's really good. I like it. How is Charles Robinson? Man's been red since I was a child, and I'm 36 now. A ref since she was a child. He's an OG, isn't he? Here we go, Bianca in control. So, 6-woman tag is what we've got now. Oh, hello, big cheers. Look at this. She's like, yeah, look at my booty. Single leg drop kick there by Bianca. Days, would you say Roman, Jimmy J versus Solo Jacob Tammer would be insane? Oh, yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. My only concern would be, you know, Jacob can deal with Roman. Tammer and Solo equal to the Uso. I suppose in a way they probably could be. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think they'd have Solo being confronting Roman, but Jacob feels like the real one. Jade has lost her star power and she's lost some muscle mass, says Taylor. Wyatt Six said, do you think we're going to get new champs at Bash in Berlin? No. I'm trying to think who's defending. I don't think Gunther loses, but there is a chance. Just because I think there's a lot of potential with Randy having the title. Certainly sets us up well for next year, doesn't it? But feels too soon to take it off Gunther. But if you wanted that belt on Randy, this would be a way of getting there. I mean, I would say, why not just have Randy beat Damian, though? Why did you have to put it onto Gunther? But Yeah, there's a chance, but I think Gunther retains. Is there any women's titles being defended? There isn't, is there? I don't think there's any. Is there? I don't think there is. And mid-card titles. Is the IC title being defended? I don't think it is. What belts are on the line? Bash in Berlin. Let's have a look. Five matches. We've got the women's tag titles, the WWE Championship, and the World Heavyweight Championship. That's it. 3 titles. Women's tag titles. Who's even the champions? They could change hands. Is Kevin going to get the belt off Cody? I don't think so. Is Gunther going to lose the title to Randy this quickly? I don't think so. And are Bianca and Jade going to get the women's tag titles back? Yeah, maybe. Okay. That's it. Those are the title matches. Days, are we ever going to get women's mid-card belt? Oh, apparently they've looked into it, yeah? Apparently. Chinny said Roman's reign was so long and Gunther's with the IC was also stupid long. I think WWE has got some leeway for short title reigns for a bit without lengthy reigns, but that's just an opinion. Well, opinions are welcome, Chinny. They are welcome. Maggie says, Taylor, there are only a tag team so that Bianca can do the heavy lifting because Jade still can't put a match together or wrestle. James said you're literally watching the champs now. Who's the champs? Naomi. Charles Robinson. I know who the champs are. It's just, I wish this felt like it meant a little bit more. It's not a match I'm that excited for. In fact, I've scrapped that. I'm trying to be polite. It ain't a match I'm excited for Bash in Berlin. Maybe this match can get me excited. We got Blair in there. Who? Maggie said opinions are like a-holes. Everyone's got one. Knee to the side of the heads. Bianca and Naomi are either honoring the Olympic athletes or they're feeling the joy. If you know, you know. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Opinions are like farts. Everyone lets them out and they stink, said Watson. Okay, we got Bianca down on one knee. She's going against the ropes. Kick coming in. I read that WWE has approved design, said Kelly. Yeah, that did the rounds. Is Bianca's theme your favourite? You sing a lot. I do like it. I think it really works for her. Oh, double knees by Isla. That was good. I do like it. I like that, and I like Trick Williams's. Boom, stomping down. Bianca is carrying this match, said Leo. Days, you just need me in the head. Did I? Sorry, buds. Against the ropes. Picked up round the houses. Oh! She's got the arm. She's looking. Oh, that's good work there by Isla. Look at that. Added leverage by Isla Dawn. Grabbing a hold. Look, she's like, I've been accused of what? Yeah, look at the strength of Bianca into a backbreaker. Excellent work by the EST. Excellent work. So, Bianca's down. This is so an outfit that Bianca would not wear if she was in there with Nia. If you know, you know. This white outfit. Boom! Suplex! Why is Bianca so weak? Isn't Naomi supposed to be destroyed, said Willow. Well, I don't think she's weak. It's just they've been ganging up on her and she needs to make this hot tag. She's trying to get over. She's reaching to Jade. Tag's made. Jade goes over the top. Boom. Down goes Blair. Oh, big right hands to both Isla and Alba. Blair picked up, looking for a power bomb. That was a nice power bomb. That was a nice power bomb. Now she grabs Alba. Oh, had her on her shoulders, puts her in front. Oh, my God. It's a one-man, woman wrecking machine. Let's go. Boom. Great hot tag. Chokeslam. Oh, so well sold by Isla. Jade's reversing, hurls Blair into Alba. Splash. Oh, super kick there by Blair. Tag being made. Here's Naomi. Naomi is perched. Naomi is perched. Crossbody. Crossbody. Drop kick. Down goes Alba. Oh, there's girls bumping everywhere. There to the outside. Big kick there by Naomi. Another kick there by Naomi. And she grabs Blair and Isla. Looking for DDT's a little bit messy. She grabs Blair, goes to the pin, 2. Alba makes the save. They all look like they're in a faction led by Rhea, said Leaping Lucha Larry. Here's Jade's. Step up Insuguri there by Isla. Jade goes to the outside. Isla goes out after her. This match is brought to us by American Vodka, Wheatley's. Eat fresh. Going up top is Bianca. She's perched. Boom! Comes down. Can I just say, I love Bianca's gear. I know I keep saying it, but I so love it. I really would take the lips off it, though, and just have it look a lot more like an actual, like, white with the... I think it looks so good. No. Kick coming back there. That's lovely. Blair goes down. Blair's in the ring with Naomi. Split leg moonsault. Split leg moonsault. 1, 2, 3, and it's a win. Win for Naomi. And Jade. And Bianca. And humanity. Oh, no way. No flipping way. So it is actually based on the gymnastics attire. No way. Look at that. USA is based on... God, and that looks so good. Do you know what? Rather than the wrestlers creating their ring gear, perhaps we need proper people to do it. Because that just looks amazing. These look fantastic. And look how well they look here. Bianca's in particular. I think it looks fantastic. So if we got whoever designs proper, like, you know, Olympic attires to do some for the wrestlers, we could come up with some awesome stuff. That's really good, that is. That's really, really good. Anybody but me. I'm going to put that in the Smackdown folder. I've done it. I've done it. Brady, I've retweeted it, bud. Very good. Love that. Right, match scores. Let's do match scores. All time. Great. Good / okay. But day's new WWE wrestler, Hugh. Where did it go? Manatee. Love it. Love it. Matt said, did you get the halftime song score recorded? No. Still having to do it live. Jason said, I hope that Candice wins the WWE Women's Speed Championship. I know it doesn't mean much, but it would be nice for her to finally have something. Angel said, what about WWE going back to an Attitude Era when it goes to Netflix 2025? Well, the noise coming out of Superstars and out of Triple H is that it's not expected to do that. It's just whenever a story needs to go that little further, they'll be able to go that little further. So, you know, if ever there is swearing from the crowd, they won't have to mute it. If ever there are some bad language signs, they won't have to have the screen go black. If they need a bit of blood, they can go there. But I agree, we don't need it all the time. It's like just when we need to go that little further, we'll go that little further. I agree with them. I think that's the right way to do it. Humanity is much better than the other great Hugh in wrestling. Hugh Janus, said Rob. That's a good point. I acknowledge Jacob Fatu. I think he should be the tribal chief, says Afzal. It has been a good SmackDown, said Jojo. Right, well, here we go. We are going into the next hour. We've got 3 minutes. Okay, we've gone back to the action, and they're just talking about the Bash in Berlin kickoff show that we're going to be getting. Outside the Uber Arena. Next Friday. Gunther has already made his way over there. With Ludwig. Ah. Hello, Natalia. First time ever. Germany 96. Is that the first time we went? This is great footage. Brett said that the fans in Germany were the very best in the world. Monday Night Raw in 97. I didn't know that. The first Raw broadcast outside of North America. No, there's Brett saying Germany #1. Owen and Davey. European Championship. We all know who got this. Let's go. Let's go. Feels good to be victorious in Berlin. This is brilliant. I'm loving this. Mick Foley cutting a promo in German. More of this, please. New Day rocks and live events. It's my honor to salute the German fans. We're going to make history once again. Oh, we're here. Look at that. Wow. That was so good. Why can't we do something like that every week? Here's Bloodline. That was so good. This has seriously been the best part of the show so far. That's true. No lies detected. What do you think about the new Judgment Day answer, said Ellis. I don't think they're as strong, but I think they are more heelish. I think people always loved Rhea, so taking Rhea out makes the group less popular. And I think Damien grew on people as well, so I don't think they're as strong, but I think they are more devious, heelish, unlikable. So, yeah, good. Bloodline making their way down to the ring. Big segment incoming. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Brian, acknowledge me sign. Do it, Brian. You cowards. Right. We know that Triple H is stalking social media. We know this channel has a popular online presence, and people like Sean Ross Sapp and Wrestle Talk, they know who Daze is. It's not crazy to think they pay attention to us people, says Trini. So all he does is watch us. That's it. Doesn't even watch his monitors. He's just watching us. Goods. 96%. Let's go. Here's Solo. Bloodline. Not the real Bloodline. Fakey fake Bloodline. Acknowledge me, says Solo. Loud boos. They're acknowledging him, but with booze. Not alcohol. Look at Jacob. Jacob's got the walking boot on. Try and keep it down. Jacob puts that belt around his neck. Oh. He loves it. Oh, yeah. So intense, isn't he? Jacob's intensity is like 100 out of 10. OTC. OTC. Jacob just oozes aura. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Your body language, your facial expressions, your mannerisms, everything is so important, and everything has to be so big. They can't help but put the camera on Jacob because he's always doing something. I'm going to bring the Undisputed title back to my family. I'm going to bring that title back to me, says Solo. Item number 3. We want Roman. We want Roman. Cheer for Roman all you want. What is the necklace made out of? What necklace? The Ulafala? I actually don't know. It looks like the paint is coming off it. There's something wrong with the tag team titles? What? What's wrong with them? What's wrong? What's up, mate? Jacob Fatu, step up. He takes the title from around his neck. Puts it over the shoulder. So he had it over his neck. He's now put it over it, and he's got gold grills in as well. Gold grills on Jacob. Jacob. Give me your title. He looks at Solo. Takes it off his shoulder. Give me your title. And he takes it. Give it to Tonga Loa. Give it to Tonga Loa. Ooh. Jacob gives the title to Tonga Loa. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He can't wrestle. He can't wrestle, Jan. Talks about him being his own personal enforcer. He puts his arms out and he embraces Jacob. I love you, Solo. I love you. I love you, Solo. Wow, you can't wrestle. Here's Street Profits. Okay, so we've got the Street Profits coming out, and this... He just got a promotion, how cute. Street Profits are up, and we want the smoke. I mean, they would get destroyed by Jacob on his own. He would destroy them all. So it's Jacob's not in the match. It's going to be Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. It's Street Profits against Gorillas of Destiny. And they found a way of making me sad about it. Oh, please, Tonga Loa, don't be rubbish. Don't be rubbish. This is your chance, Tonga Loa. This is your chance. Oh, Tonga Loa got the pink slip, but he dropped it. Right. It's Fakey Fake Bloodline versus Street Profits. Let's go. Typical Summers, shout out to you, my friends. Tahil said there's incoming botches on both sides. Higley said, do you think that Jimmy interferes tonight? I don't think so. Just because, like, I think that he could end up costing them, but I don't know that it would be tonight. Tonga Loa is going to lose the titles tonight, said Leaping Lucha Larry. Bloodline will win easily, says Connor. Flip the fakers? Yeah. Days, I'm surprised that Tonga didn't botch putting the title. It's true, isn't it? Do you know what? He's got a good 5 minutes there without falling over. Respect. Days loves Gunther the way that Jacob loves Solo. I love you, Solo. I love you, Gunther. Yes. Let's go. Tonga Loa can't wrestle, said Jojo. Do we think Solo interrupts Cody and Owen's match? He could do. He could do. I don't know if he won't just, like, wait for someone to win and, like, do you know what I mean? He doesn't really need to. He's not on that show, so he doesn't have to travel all that way, does he? Imagine getting a flight all the way to Germany just to mess around with the main event when you could just wait. Have Cody win and then just, like, challenge whoever wins. So he could do. I don't know that he will. Solo, basic, like a dry cream cracker, said Miss Clown. Tony K said, I think the halftime song is imminent. We've gone past it. We've gone past it. We're either 5 minutes early or we're 10 minutes late. What's a boy to do? What is a boy to do? Tonga Loa is the biggest joke of a heel I've ever seen. Dude can't stop himself from stubbing his toe on the ring step, said LS Dub. Dr. Luchalala said, I've been lurking today. Lurking. Never saw him in Japan, and neither have a lot of people, says Maggie. Tonga Loa is better than Jacob Fatu, says Brony. Red Leader said, who do we think's winning in Bash in Berlin, Cody or Kevin? Cody. Cody. The wait for Jacob to dominate everything is becoming more excruciating. Oh, I think that's a long road, to be honest with you, buds. I think it's a long road, only because I think we know that he can, so we have to find reasons as to why he won't. Sheamus is getting Ireland ready for college game day. I don't know what that means. College game day live from Ireland. Is you doing some college games in Ireland or something? What are you doing? What are you crazy Americans doing now? I watched Tonga Loa when he was in New Japan. He was all right, but I can confidently say that he's regressed. James said, watch him put on a banger now. Yeah, imagine that. Hello, we're backstage. Is Byron. You're talking too much already. LA Knight. LA Knight, yeah. I spent the first 20 odd years up the roads. Shit. Oh, little stumble. Little stumble. It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to go across the ocean. Come on down. Anyone that's got enough tingle in their loins. Come on down. Yeah. Yeah. Tingle in their loins. Guys, if you've got a bit of a tingle in your loins, get over to Berlin. Challenge LA Knights. Okay, here we go. Street Profits against Bloodline. And we're starting with the legend that is Tonga Loa. Let's go. Against the ropes goes Dawkins. Dawkins over the top. Takes down Tonga Loa. Tonga Loa trying to get back up to his feet. Big shot there by Dawkins. Tonga Loa goes back to the corner. Quick shots there by Dawkins. Dawkins looking really good. There's Solo. And there's Jacob on the outside. Big clothesline by Tonga Loa. Guys, he's gone about 40 odd seconds. Faultless. And he's tagged out. Faultless. Here's Tama. Shot to the midsection. Boom. Net breaker. Lovely teamwork here by the Gorillas. They don't really use that name, do they? Or they don't use that name, but they should. The Gorillas of Destiny. I loved them. Well, I didn't watch loads of them, but I loved them in New Japan. Calling out the Usos and everything. Tag being made. Days, it's only a 2-hour flight. You have a tingle, so you should go. Oh, no, I don't have any tingles. I'm pretty much dead downstairs. Boom. Tony K said maybe it's long-term storytelling with Tonga Loa, where he will eventually prove people like you wrong and he'll win a world title. I hope he does. I hope he does. I do not hate him, but he has made a few little botches, hasn't he? BBB Ipsy said Tally Tonga will show up with Haku tonight and make Gorillas of Destiny complete. I would go insane and it would be scenes, says BBB Ipsy. BBB Ipsy, shout out to you. Shout out to you. AR Banks as well said happy Friday days and community. Let's go. AR Banks, BB Ipsy. Yeah, at the moment, GOD, Gorillas of Destiny, in control. Giovanni Vinci would give everyone a tingle in their loins, said, too broke to pay attention. Miss Kyan said, have some of my tingles. Oh, thanks, mate. Nice. Kick there by Montez. Tonga Loa goes against the ropes. Over the other side, oh, shoulder tackles, down they go, Street Profits. Working well together, they land on top of Tonga Loa. In comes Tama Tonga, boom. He gets planted as well. This is for the tag titles. Tag titles on the line, pick it up, boom, Spinebuster. Spinebuster by Dawkins. Montez going up top. Montez, Frog Splash connects. 1, 2, boom, and a save by Tama Tonga. Save. City Till I Die said Tonga Loa hasn't botched yet. I know. Craziness. Am I the only one who does the tingling? Yes. It's only you. I think LA Knight called you out, actually. On the outside, we got Montez. We've got Tama. Boom, nice. So it feels like we're on the verge of going to commercial break. That's how you do it, says Solo. He knows. He knows. Let's go, Profits, said Lieben. Do you know who loves to take flights just to attack a guy? AJ. That's true. Do we think he'll return to challenge LA, said Dad. So I don't know what we're going to do with him. I don't know what the plan is. I would love for us to do something big with him. Is challenge him for the United States title big enough? What do you do there? I think what you do is you sit down with AJ and you're like, right, when do you want to call it quits? What are we working towards? Let's get a plan together. Let's try and wrap this thing up the right way. You deserve your career ending the right way. What do we do? Because he spoke about walking away, hasn't he? So, yeah. I think if I was Triple H, I'd want to sit down with him. AJ could call out King Kong Daisy, said Russell. That he could do. Could do. I flipping love Montez Ford, said Jack. Do we think we're getting Roman, said DC. Not today, no. BB Yipsy said it's a really good fast-paced match so far. Days it won't happen, but imagine a Cara Noir appearance. Have we heard any more about Cara Noir? Is Cara Noir, like, making any kind of miraculous recovery? I would love for Cara Noir to return. I don't know if there's any news. I don't... I just put it into Google. I don't think there is. Yeah, that would be good. I really thought there was a chance of him coming to NXT, and maybe there was if he didn't get injured. Not that I've heard. AJ should go and be a commissioner of the NWA, said Aubrey. Upper said, what's the thoughts on the tag match? How's Tonga holding it? You can't criticise Tonga Loa in this. He ain't done nothing wrong. I think the match is fine. Good. It's obviously a bit of a shame when you go to commercial break. It does sort of disrupt the flow. I'd like to have seen this at, say, Bash in Berlin. But so far, so good. Yeah. Ricky Starks will debut at Bash in Berlin. He's going to accept LA Knight's open challenge and get a big push, said City Till I Die. Okay, here we go then. Titles on the line. We've got just over 40 minutes. Just over 40 minutes left of the show. Over in the corner goes Montez. Back elbow. Big right hand. Another back elbow. Tries to make the tag to Dawkins. Rumour, Jimmy returns on the first SmackDown on USA, says Jim. Oh, Jim, hope you well. Brandon, shout out to you. I know it's two different shows, but Fatu versus Braun would be epic, said Wesley. Okay, here we go. We've got Montez trying to get over. We got a tag made there by Tonga Loa. Oh, big clothesline there by Dawkins. And again, it's Tama that's in the ring. Tama, Dawkins, over the top. Back elbow. Down goes Tama. I like how Tama jumped up to take that back elbow. It looked better. He actually jumped up so that the elbow looked better. Nice. Oh, man, some good work. Dawkins has really shone in this match, you know. I've been so impressed with Dawkins' work. Dawkins is sort of like the wrecking ball in the group. I feel like Dawkins might be the Pippin to, like, Montez's Michael Jordan. Tag being made. Over against the ropes goes Tama. Boom! Gets planted. Street Profits. No. Tonga Loa makes the save. Oof. Over against the... Oh, I thought he was going against the ropes. He throws him through the ropes. Here we've got Dawkins going up the tags. Why did he do such a dramatic tag? Montez just launched himself to make that tag, but there was no one stopping him. Dawkins, boom! Solo is up on his feet. Solo looks tiny compared to Dawkins. Solo's got a few. What? What? Montez goes over the ring post. Look, Solo's concerned. Oh, here's Jacob. Ah, super kick with the boot. Super kicks. Now he grabs Dawkins, chucks him in the ring. Solo distracts. Dawkins gets planted. B-Fab going crazy. And it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. It's a win for the Bloodline. Thanks to plenty of outside distractions. Solo and Jacob having to get involved. If that was even, if that was fair, we may have crowned new tag team champs. I don't mind that booking. I don't mind that booking. Headbutt there by Jacob. Stomping away. Double axe handle there by Tama Tonga. DIY are coming down to try and make the save. Here's Tommaso. Here's Johnny Gargano. Now they're brawling in the entranceway. Wow, look at that. Johnny pulling down the top rope. Jacob went straight to the outsides. Oh, and a knee. My God, man. Kicks coming in there by DIY. Tell you what, this has worked well. Solo down on one knee. Jacob grabs Johnny. And now that allows Solo to get up. Oh, my God, it's all happening. It's all happening. Here's Tommaso. Oh, into a Samoan drop. Oh, it was huge. Oh, God, Jacob's so good. Collides into Johnny. Man, he just planted Tommaso. Planted him. The glove has come off. I think we're going to get a Samoan spike. Johnny, he goes down. And I think there might be one here for Tommaso as well. He goes down. Yes. Sexy time, said Miss Clown. Look at the golden grill. Yes. This promotion, was it a promotion? He was always the enforcer, wasn't he? Is it a promotion? Is it? Oh, no, there we go. Cody, big smile on his face. Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes. Here's Kevin. You get what I was saying earlier. You know I'm not that guy anymore. So we've got Kevin and we got Cody. Okay. Owen's turn is coming, says Rob. Planting a seed. Turn 100%, said Leaping Lucha Larry. AJ Styles needs to dethrone Gunther and Cody on the same night. Is Roman coming? I don't think he's coming tonight. His next show was meant to be in September, but that's, I don't know what's happening with that now. I think that Giovanni will dethrone Gunther at WrestleMania, put his finger up above his head and say, "This is for you, Sammartino." He'll then have the title for 9 years, and he will be the next Italian strongman. Well, if that happens, I promise I will remember that you said that. And I will give you all the credit in the world. That was a great call on the Jordan comparison, says Matter. Matter, shout out to you. Dawkins is someone that I think we've all been waiting for, like, you know, them to split up. But, I mean, I thought that was a really good show in there by Dawkins. I really felt like he was coming in and, like, doing the dirty work. And he's probably done that for a long time, to be honest. He's probably very underappreciated. But, yeah, that was very impressive. I was very impressive with what I saw. Imagine Hunter wants to become Triple H again and just decides to wrestle, says Reds. Gargano just doesn't do it for me, said Aubrey. KO won't turn this time, says Tahil. Damn it, I tried to not time anyone out and LS Dub already got them. I see Roman every day. He's my drug, says Maggie. Everyone wants teams to split up. You're damn weirdos, says Raven. I think it's just because people know that teams tend to split up. So you're just sort of waiting for it to happen. Okay, let's end this poll. We've got just over half an hour left to go. We know that that main event is going to get a little bit of time to cook. 5, 9, and 40%. Oh, that actually got a great rating, you know. Great 53%. People really enjoyed that. Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, man, that video package was so good. That Germany one. A lot of praise for that. Right. Roman's off TV for a while, and he still shocked off his passing. If the greatest tag team ever, RIP. As he still shocked off his passing. I don't know what that means, but... the match was very enjoyable, said Al Estub. It doesn't change the fact that you'll get the most out of both the Street Profits if they split. Not to mention, it will evolve the division. The Street Profits, they still feel like the last regime. You feel like Vince's fingerprints are all over them. Okay, we're going back to the show. Where are we? I acknowledge you, my tribal chief Tongaloa, said AD. Wesley said the tag team storylines are so necessary with the talent that WWE has. Charles said they do complement each other well. We're just seeing a replay of what happened before that commercial break. So Jacob going back, splashing into Johnny Gargano. Geekbox said, Days, hope you're having a good stream. Your reactions lately have been amazing to watch, says Geekbox. Well, I mean, it's just funny, isn't it? When the show's a bit flat, it can be really hard to find stuff to get enthusiastic about. When the show's hot, it's just the easiest thing in the world. So, you know, we're going through such a great period at the moment. Oh, hello, here's BFAB. So, Geekbox, shout out to you, my friend. Oh, hello, there's Candice, there's Indy. They've gone in to check on DIY. Candice was worried. Okay, I like that. I like it when we go to the trainer's room. Chaos backstage. BFAB is looking so fine, said Tony. That was Byron. That was Byron. Progressive match flow. Here we go. Yes. Loved the progressive. Where's the woman? She's the best bit. You're too ugly to make it. You're too fat. You don't have the look. You're not the it girl. Be nice, be patient. Be less ambitious. Oh, is this... She's in a rage room where you just take it out on stuff. I've never been in one of them. I don't fancy it, really. Although it's probably fun to just grab baseball bats and hammers and just get it all out, you know? I wonder if they get worried when you've got, like, someone huge arriving. They're like, oh, I've just got a lot to get out. Oh, my God. I'm worried for the room. Where was the woman? Oh, hello, what's going on? The crown broke. The crown broke. Michin last week broke the crown. That sick crown. Don't worry. I'll get her back. She's made a huge mistake. Did the gun say pretty stickly? Rather than pretty deadly? The glue gun said pretty stickly. You can start by fixing the crown. Tiffany and Pretty Deadly are trying to fix that crown. Oh, here's Chelsea, here's Piper. It was so pink, it almost gave me pink eye. I think Tacky Time has only got her back so she can stab a knife in it. Here's Naya. Oh, did you just overhear everything I said? She knew what she was doing. Okay, so there's going to be a women's street fight next week. Michin against Naya. Berlin street fight. Down for the main event. What? Main event already? Hot glue guns? Yeah! Why are Pretty Deadly involved in Naya's story? I could see them hanging out with Tiffany. I can understand that relationship. Do we think Jimmy Uso will return soon? Yes. I mean, like, I think he could be back when Roman comes back. He may come back before, but not sure. Be a bit silly to come back on your own. Unless you're going to interfere and then, like, run into the crowds. Like, laughing in the crowd and just run away. You could do that. Sorry, but Naya is not championship material, said Brony. She's boring matches, boring promos, boring theme song, boring presentation, boring aura, boring everything. I'm sensing you're not a fan. Oh, look at that. Is that a little kid that had like a Dusty Rhodes headband on as well? Polka dots. And he had like, was that a blonde wig or was that his actual hair? That kid's. Okay, Cody and Kevin taking on Grayson and Theory. That kid was awesome. That kid was awesome. Mitchell, I appear and introduce my stunning OTC, then I wake up. Oh, is that your dream? Have you brought any of the Wyatt 6 merch, says Charlie. I haven't. I keep meaning to pick up one of the shirts. There's a few I'd like to get, actually. I'd like to get one of the Wyatt 6 shirts. I'm not sure which one. I don't like going too crazy with shirts. Not a big fan of the ones that we looked at recently where they've got it all on the back. I think I'd just have the logo, something like that. I do want to get one of those, and I really want to get Jacob Fatu's shirt as well. I'm ready. I'm ready to acknowledge. So, no, I haven't, but they are very much on my radar. Why does this community consistently direct their love of Roman towards me, says Mitchell. Do they? Perhaps it's because, Mitchell, you are the closest we have to Roman. And so everyone looks at you at being this community's version of Roman. Did you think it was that? I think it's that. Rick said, this is why I stopped. The Bloodline is the worst. And when you hear about how awesome Fatu is, and he can't stay healthy for a month. So a mid-carder surrounded by nothing, says Rick. Well, I mean, it was a nasty bump against the table. I don't know how much of it is real and how much of it is story. I'm not sure. I don't disagree that Solo's aura is not quite where we would want it to be. I think the aura needs to be improved. But I just don't understand why you would have him lose so much in the build to WrestleMania, knowing that he was going to carry the story after WrestleMania. I don't get that. Jacob coming in, I think, was pretty sick. Perhaps they thought, well, it doesn't matter because they knew that they were going to have Tama and Tongaloa and Jacob coming in. So perhaps they thought it doesn't matter because it'll get rejuvenated, and I don't know that it's quite worked that way. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of pieces that we need to put together. When we've actually got and we're ready for Bloodline, then we'll judge it then. There's still hope. I've still got hope. I've still got hope. We could get a heel turn from either team at the end of this match. That's true. DC said, I am manifesting Jimmy Uso's return. Wesley said, when do we think Talatonga debuts? When we need him. I don't think there's a mad rush. I wouldn't bring him in just for the sake of bringing him in. I feel like at the moment, the new Bloodline have got the advantage. It's time for Roman to respond. And then, obviously, then it's going to be time for the new Bloodline to respond. And I think you respond with, you know, Hikuleo, who is like, isn't he like 6'8"? He's going to provide something different for that group. He's going to provide some real size. So I would imagine they'll present him as a giant, as a monster. He's not, I mean, 6'8", I don't think is that big. It's big, but it ain't like Great Khali. So, but he is going to be bigger than anyone in that group. And bigger than Roman. So it's going to add another dimension, but I don't think you do it until you need to do it. Do we think Austin Theory will turn on Grayson tonight? No, I think Grayson turns on Theory. Grayson's the heel. I don't know that it makes any sense having Theory turn. I think you have Grayson just snap and start beating up on Theory. That builds up sympathy for Theory. But in centimeters, how big is 6'8"? Don't know. I don't know how many feet there are in a meter. So I don't know. I would guess 220. Maybe not that many. 200. I've guessed. Roman is the perfect size, said Maggie. But what is your opinion on Roman Reigns returning? I thought it was good. He didn't say much. He was all action. Crowd really liked him. It was good. That was a cool guess. Well, it was probably completely wrong. Okay, so we've got Cody, we've got Kevin, both in the ring, sharing a few words. 19 minutes to go. Charlie said 6'8" is 203. Okay. Let's go. Thank you. I feel like I failed you by not... I was 3 centimeters short then. Boom! All day. Back in the main event where we belong, said Austin Theory. So, here we go then. How many matches have we had tonight? Oh, this will be match number 4. So, Theory and Grayson. Rips up a sign there, Grayson. Right. Why did the ring post change, says Callie. Why did the ring post change? What changed about them? They've got the LED screens on. Okay, we've got Theory and Grayson over in the corner. KO is a better heel than a face. Fed up of them doing the same turn on his partner. KO will turn on Cody tonight, said Metal Gaming Zone. Well, here we go. Cody Rhodes is going to be in action. Main event, 17 minutes left to go. Do you think we're close to Wyatt 6 against The Way? I don't think so, because they're on different shows. Plus also their faces. And I don't think that you would go after faces. You kind of need Johnny and... you need Johnny and Tommaso to turn heel. Over against the ropes goes Grayson. Back elbow there by KO. Was there a Giovanni vignette? Not that I saw. I'm going to head out. Lots of love, Miss Clown. Shout out to you, buds. Nighty night. Nighty night. Okay, kick out there by Grayson. I watched SmackDown on my TV antenna, said Zach. I was 30 seconds ahead, but now you're like 5 seconds, maybe. Somehow you've caught up. Well, I think part of it is because of the commercial breaks. When we go to commercial, we don't get the same commercials as you. So, and I don't think we go to commercial break at the exact same second that you do. I believe there is a feed that comes over, and basically it seems to me like they have to press a button when they think it's time for the commercials to play, and then they let those commercials play, and then there's like a bit of a graphic waiting for the feed to start back up again. So it all feels very manual, which if you think about it, it makes sense, because they can't put the commercials in, because why would someone want to advertise summer in the UK that's not even available? There's plenty of stuff in America that we don't have over here. So I think that's the reason why. Kick there by Theory. That does make sense, said Cameron. I wish we had UK commercials in America. In America, we have so many commercials. Our commercials are, you know, not as fun as... Well, I can't say not as fun, but you ain't missing out. I can't imagine Fatu breaking character, said Afzal. Rest with Andy said, Days, if Vince was still in power, do we think Theory would be champ by now? That's interesting. I think he would have been built up more, let's put it that way. I think he would be a bigger star being used, like, more. Would he be champ? Don't know. Don't know. There's no way of knowing. But that's interesting. Vince saw a lot in him, didn't he? Bro, how to watch WWE in Pakistan? Anyone know? Anyone in Pakistan? Anyone know how to watch in Pakistan? Please respond. Please respond. I don't know what it's on in Pakistan. Wesley said USA on Fox has got delayed parts to cut if needed to censor questionable content. Colm said if Logan is fixing his truck, he's not on TV, he's missing some action. I think if Owens and Cody win this, I think Owens is going to super kick Cody, says Connor. Brandon said days for president. Let's go. It's my time. It is definitely my time. VPN probably said Ethan. Right, we are at commercial break. We are at commercial break. Days, what is your opinion on LA Knight winning the American title, said Chib. I like it, but I'm a fan. I was waiting for him to be the one to get it from Logan. I thought they might do it at WrestleMania. They did it at SummerSlam instead. 80 said thank you, by the way, for the centimeter guess. 80, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Maggie says thank you, that is awesome. Mr. Bean will be the best superstar. Let's go. I wonder if he'll be there in Berlin. I wonder who will be there in Berlin, actually. Who could they bring out? What local celebrities might there be? I don't know. I'm trying to think of famous Germans. Good ones. I don't know. Is there like an F1 driver? What about Matey Boy in F1? Him? Could he be there? I can't remember his name. Yeah, who is the? The Hoff? Yes! David Hasselhoff, let's go! Max Verstappen? No. He's Dutch. Not him. Not Alonso. There was another one. Beethoven? Hasselhoff? Does need to be the Hoff. Hans Gruber? Rammstein? Yes, Rammstein. Schumacher, said Wesley. Vettel. Is that who I was thinking of? Sebastian Vettel? Yes. Yes, that was it. Well done. Sebastian Vettel. That is who I was thinking of, Chaz. Big shots coming in there by Cody. Goes against the ropes. Boom. Over the top. There's not loads of famous Germans, is there, if you think about it? Good ones. If I put in famous Germans, Albert Einstein, they're all dead. They're all dead. Beethoven, Einstein, Brecht, Bach, Brahms, all dead. Where's all the living ones? Hey. Theory grabs Cody, pulls him out the ring. Heidi Klum. She's German. Heidi Klum. She's the only one. She's literally the only one. Famous Germans still alive. Let's have a look. Steffi Graf. Michael Schumacher. Boris Becker. Claudia Schiffer. Heidi Klum and Claudia Schiffer against Alba and Isla. Do it. Book it, you cowards. It's pretty flipping slim pickings, though, isn't it? It's pretty slim pickings. It's just going to have to be a load of footballers. Mercedes Mon. That's right, Mercedes. Yeah, you're right. She must be German. What about German chocolate cake? German chocolate cake. Sausage. Wir Schnitzel. Let's go. Das Mickey Mousen. Yes. Harry Kane. Yes. The Huff. Jurgen Klopp. A lot of people won't know the footballers, though. German Shepherd. Oh, my God. Oh, that would be the best. We just need a load of German Shepherds. The dogs. Oh, God, you're right. That would be the best. Cody Cutter. Oh, my God, I love that idea. Just German Shepherds everywhere. That'd be the best. People dressed as sausages. Theory splashes into the corner. We got 8 minutes left. Robin Van Persie. Dutch. Spartan, are you just going to name Dutch people? And claim them to be German? Shoulder up. Tony Cruz. Kristen Dunst. German suplex. You're right. It's the only move allowed. Captain America. Captain America. It's one of those where he's actually German and you go, what? I saw that video. There was a video the other day I watched where apparently apple pie is English. And so is A1 sauce. Did you know that? I didn't know that. We don't even have it. Over the top rope to the outside goes Theory. He's trying to make over. Cody trying to get over. Schweinsteiger. It's a good name to say, isn't it? Doink the Clown. Owens has been tagged. He collides into Theory. Whoa, big clothesline. Yes. Love it. Oh, and one to Grayson as well. Kevin Owens screams out, grabs Grayson, chucks him back in the ring. Kevin Owens, cannonball to the outside. He's back on his feet. He gets into the ring. Goes over to the corner, backs up, runs over, boom! Connects. Kevin Owens going up top. He's perched. Lovely. Swanton. 1, 2. And Theory makes the save. Alpachin caffeine shampoo. Yes. That was on, there was an advert for that earlier. Oh, Crossroads. That leaves Grayson in the ring on his own. Slumped. He's like, ah, oh, man. Pop-up powerbomb incoming. Picks him up. Yes. Connects. 1, 2, 3. It's a win for Cody. It's early. It's early. There's time for shenanigans. Plenty of time for shenanigans. Cody Rhodes. And Kevin Owens picking up that sweet dub. That sweet, sweet dub. Now, are we going to get anything? Give me more. Let's see what we've got. Let's see. KO do something, said Atom. Don't think he will, but I don't think he will. He could do, but I don't think he will. Bring on the shenanigans. Things are going to get weird, said Jacob. When does it cross the line from tomfoolery into shenanigans, says Rob. It's a good question. It's a good question. You have to keep an eye out for signposts. We're just running down the card for Bash in Berlin at the moment. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. Heel turn incoming. I think Kevin turns heel here, said Jamar. Well, they're just running down the Bash in Berlin card at the moment. Cody Rhodes is done, said Mr. Quake. Al said it's over. John is scoring it. Bratwurst will be there, said Cheeto. That'd be a good wrestler name. Oh, okay. Kevin has got the belt. And he... Oh, that was cheeky, man. That was cheeky. He grabbed the belt and he charged over to Cody. And as soon as he got close, he gave it to him. Cody's like, what just happened? What just happened? That was cheeky, wasn't it? That was cheeky. It looked like he was about to nail him with it, but Cody looked at him. They're little teasy teasters, aren't they, eh? Little teasy teasters. So nothing happens. But it was teased. It was definitely teased. Very cheeky, says Phantom67. Very cheeky. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. Cody has secretly unleashed the beast. Right, let's turn that off. Boom. Lovely. Bye. Close. He didn't commit to it. It was just a tease. They were playing you. Yeah, man, we got played. We got played hard. KO said, psych. Triple H teased us. Well, there we go. I mean, how was that? I thought there was some all right stuff in there. I mean, 2 of the matches got great scores. So out of 4 matches, 2 of them got great scores. It did sort of go the way we anticipated. There was not really that OMG moment, was there? Edward, shout out to you. LS Dub said KO won't turn until after or at Berlin to set up a rematch at Bad Bloods. They need at least 2 matches out of this feud. Right, guys, I'm going to run away because I've got a few bits that I want to do and get sorted. Obviously, tomorrow is going to be very Bray heavy. There will be an Unseen, and I would imagine it will be very Bray focused, as I said. So, yeah, lots to reflect on, shall we say, tomorrow. But, yeah, appreciate the support tonight, as always. Have a great evening. I'm going to run away and try and work on Unseen now. So, thanks for watching. Appreciate the support. I'll see you next time.